this one off. I know how nervy it is, man. Well done, bro.
Thank you guys so much. Listen, the nerves were incredibly intense for the entire week leading up to it, but I think for any man being able to make this decision, do it with the utmost of intent and don't waste time of it, I'm telling you. But what an incredible dream I had. It was a perfect occasion to just do the most. We had a mountain, we had an ocean, we had all the most beautiful things. My family was there as well, so it could not have been perfect. And it was on my mom's 95th birthday. I mean, how much more special can this get with the full moon out there? This was made for the stars. Literally, I'm feeling like I'm on cloud nine.
And I'm so glad, and I know how important it was to have family around, to have your tribe with you. So absolutely so proud of you and love both of you guys. So you can start the conversation with Raul if you want as well. Head over to his socials, have a chat, share some love, share some inspiration. But we're going to start a conversation with you guys right now. And we've got some heavy topics to deal with on the show today. So we thought, let's lean on you and get your advice as we take you to the social streets, and you can also drop us a voice note. This is the conversation we are starting this morning, and I want to know from you, being a child of divorce is never easy. That's why it's important for parents to offer consistency to their kids through co-parenting. So that being said, what would be one of your co-parenting do's and one of your don'ts? Give us a balance here. Let us know via voice notes, our new line 063-036-9649. Hashtag it Expresso Show, at Expresso Show is the handle to use across all the social streets, or you can send us that voice note, but we'd love to get your take, and we'll be having a very in-depth discussion with our panel a little bit later in the show to unpack exactly that topic, co-parenting and how to get that balance right. Well, speaking of balance, we can't be all warm and fuzzy feelings all day. We do have some official duties to get into. I'm going to recap those sporting headlines in a moment, but first up, Carissa's standing by with your news.
Thank you so much, Gray. It's just 5 minutes after 6 o'clock. Let's get into your national news headlines first, where BC Jonas has been appointed South Africa's special envoy to the United States. President Cyril Ramaphosa made the announcement yesterday, tasking Jonas with improving diplomatic, trade and bilateral ties. He will work with U.S. officials to rebuild trust without replacing former Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool, who was declared persona non grata by the U.S. government. Now, Jonas acknowledged the challenge but sees shared interests as a bridge to reconciliation. The 65-year-old will continue chairing a major mobile network operator while serving as envoy. Updates will follow via the Department of International Relations. In other national news, tragedy has struck near Ramasodi near Mahikeng after an 8-year-old girl died, possibly from food poisoning. She and her 10-year-old sibling complained of stomach aches and stomach cramps after they reportedly ate snacks brought from one of the hawkers in the village. The Provincial Health Department suspects organs phosphate poisoning, a chemical used in pesticide and insecticide. Residents are urging parents not to give children lunch money, insisting school-provided meals are safer. An investigation is underway to confirm the exact cause of death. In your international news making headlines, Algeria has ordered 12 French embassy officials to leave within 48 hours, following the indictment of 3 Algerians in France over the kidnapping of online influencer Amir Bokours. Bokours, known as Amir DZ, is a government critic who was abducted in Paris last April. Algiers viewed the charges against a consular official as politically motivated. France's Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot confirmed the expulsions and warned of retaliation if Algiers does not reconsider. Now, the diplomatic rift comes amid already strained ties over Western Sahara and other recent disputes. Meanwhile, Chinese President Xi Jinping has urged deeper cooperation with Vietnam as U.S. tariffs loom large over both nations. Visiting Hanoi, Xi said both countries bolster supply chains and work together on green energy as well as AI. Now, Vietnam is seeking relief from U.S. tariff threats, while China faces steep 145% duties. Xi met with top Vietnamese leaders and signed 45 cooperation agreements, including rail and trade deals. Now, his visit underscores Beijing's bid to cement regional alliances that is amidst growing Western pressure. Closing up your 6 o'clock news, heading to the pop culture world, but going just a little bit further, where Katy Perry kissed the earth with joy after blasting off into space on a dazzling all-woman flight aboard Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket. The 11-minute suborbital trip zipped past the Kármán line, marking a celestial milestone for Perry and 5 trailblazing women, including Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, and activist Amanda Nguyen. Perry's daughter Daisy inspired the adventure, with the singer saying she hopes her journey shows Daisy that dreams have no limits. Adding a touch of magic, the capsule's name, Tortoise, and feather motif matched Perry's childhood nicknames, from Firework to Space Voyager. Katy Perry's latest feat proves that with heart and courage, even the sky isn't the limit. Definitely taking a note from that book as I approach the rest of this Tuesday. For now, though, let's delve into some sporting headlines. Here's Graham with the latest.
Thank you so much, my friend. Let's start with local rugby and FNB UCT's Ikeys. They ended their title drought with a stunning 44-21 win over the FNB Marties in the 2025 Varsity Cup final. And Ntokozo Makaza starring with 32 points in a clinical team display that denied Marties a dream finish in their 150th year. So sorry there. But the Cape Side finally lifted the trophy after 2 straight final losses, outclassing their rivals out in Stellenbosch in front of a massive crowd as well, so well done. Well, staying with the 15-man game, the Sharks head to Edinburgh and Ulster for their crucial Vodacom URC tour, needing back-to-back wins to stay ahead of Munster in the top 4 battle. So Coach John Plumtree, he welcomes back Springbok powerhouse Eben Etzebeth after a 4-month concussion layoff, offering a major boost as the Sharks aim to secure home advantage in the playoffs, and it will make a massive difference. Now we turn to cricket, and MS Dhoni rolled back the years with an unbeaten 26 of just 11 balls to guide the Chennai Super Kings to a thrilling 5-wicket win over the Lucknow Super Giants. Chasing 167, CSK broke a 5-match skid in style, with Dhoni and Shivam Dube weighing in with 43 not outs, sealing it late. So next for CSK will be the Mumbai Indians, and that's on the 20th of April. Now turning to tennis, world number 8, Andrei Rublev breezed past Jasper de Jong 6-1, 6-3 to reach the Barcelona Open last 16, snapping a rough patch with style. We thought he had bounced back quickly, backed by new coach Marat Safin. Clearly it's working. Rublev showing glimpses of his best. Meanwhile, number 13, Holger Rune, he marked his return from illness by defeating veteran Albert Ramos Vinolas 7-5, 6-4 in straight sets. That's where we leave our sporting news for now. We might just have had an absolute legend in big wave surfing step into our studio. You can go head over to our socials to see if you can figure out who, but we will be connecting you to an absolute legend and someone who might help you embrace that big fear in your life. All will be revealed in just a moment, but right now, let's get into our weather and see what today has in store.
Yes, thank you so much, G-Man, and I cannot wait for that man to step in the studio, and he might be appreciating the crazy weather that we can expect for the day. And let's dive straight into it, because we've got a couple warnings to get through, and starting with the South African Weather Service, which has issued a yellow level 4 warning for disruptive rain across large parts of KwaZulu-Natal, prompting provincial authorities to urge extreme caution. Now, the heavy downpours could trigger flooding of critical infrastructure, mudslides, and major traffic disruptions. Now, disaster management teams are monitoring the situation and will assist where needed. Now, on top of this, a yellow level 2 warning has also been issued for severe thunderstorms and disruptive rain, and that's taking place over the northeastern Northern Cape and the southern parts of Mpumalanga, with possible localized flooding, and residents are definitely urged to stay safe and keep an eye on official weather reports. Well, it's about that time of the morning where we start off with our sunrise view of the hour, and you know this one's always putting a smile on our dial. So let's load it up, and it's all the way from KZN, and look at this shot from Michelle. It's an absolute banger. You can just see all the colors radiating before the sun is even peeking through on the horizon right there. The glows, the HDR. Wow, this looks absolutely incredible. Michelle, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've literally set a high bar for this morning, but we'll do it all again in the next hour. So here's a reminder to come through on our new WhatsApp number. That's 063-036-9649. Why? Because we'd absolutely love to see your sunrise view wherever you are in the country, or hey, even the rest of the world. For now though, let's take a first look at the temperatures you can expect on your side of town.
Mixed bag of weather. Just be careful out there, and we will keep bringing you those weather warnings and keep you updated, but ultimately you have to be as vigilant as you can. So please stay safe, and we'll update you again in about an hour. Right now, we are going to be talking vitality, and I like the sound of that, especially when it comes to looking after our teens. There is a lot going on in the body, in the mind, and we want to keep them balanced and give them the right kind of supplementation to help them do that.
Absolutely, it is so important. And on this Health Tuesday, we're going to continue down this avenue. And what we're going to get into is some relief, especially if you overindulge around the Easter period. We know the pickled fish, it's going to be plenty, in abundance. So perhaps you do want some options of relief for that. We've got you covered straight after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show opening you up on S3 right now. And we're all the way from Cape Town and Joburg. But Joburg's where it's at because we're about to dive into an incredible conversation. Obviously, it's Health Tuesdays. And we are talking about adolescence right now. And this is a very interesting time, especially if you're a parent, because you'll notice some volatility, some crazy changes. And especially during this phase of adolescence, there is so much happening with our teens and our young ones. So we're trying to understand exactly what is going on here. And we couldn't have a better conversation than by bringing in Kerry Rudman. Now, she's someone absolutely exceptional when it comes to the world of neuroscience, understanding the brain. She's a neurofeedback expert and the founder of Brain Harmonics. Kerry, oh, it's so good to have you this morning. How are you doing?
So good to be here. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, so listen, this is obviously a crazy time for teens, and there's the sort of intensity in emotions, in everything that's changing within their past and now this new future. What's actually going on in the brain during this adolescent period?
So your brain uses different brainwave frequencies at different times, depending on your age. It uses all of them, but at certain ages, some are more dominant.
Okay.
In a teenage brain, the alpha is more dominant.
All right.
And they have a lot of neurochemistry going nuts. They have a lot of dopamine in their brain, which is about pleasure and reward.
Yeah.
So it makes them go and seek new experiences and thrill-seeking, all the bad stuff. The problem is that a lot of things aren't fully developed in the teenage brain yet. So even though there's heightened emotions and a lot of neurochemistry going on, there's not a lot of reasoning and long-term consequence kicking in.
All right. So a lot of like adjustment, calibrating's happening, and there are a lot of changes. This clearly explains these certain days where there's just a sudden imbalance or a sudden like outbreak. It's normal, guys. It's normal. So why is the prefrontal cortex so important when we're talking about development in teens? And I know this is a specific part of the brain, right?
Absolutely. So it's not developed yet. This is the problem. It's all about reasoning, impulse control, long-term consequence, and all your cognitive skills are held there. So because it's still developing, there can be imbalances where teens experience a lot of emotion, but they don't use reasoning. So they'll make decisions based on emotions and not think about the long term for it.
Well, when exactly does this part of the brain actually fully develop then?
Somewhere between 19 and 24, which is why most people have that, you know, when you're 21, you get the key for the house because now your beat is kicked in.
Sense.
And now you can make better decisions.
But
so
not
right
the best
about 21,
yet, because we're still developing.
Yes, absolutely. That's when they kind of become aware of people beyond themselves. They think about the world and, you know, other people and how their actions influence everyone else.
Okay, this makes sense. So we've spoken about the prefrontal cortex. What about the amygdala? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
It's perfect, yes. So it's all about, it's connected to the limbic system, and that's all about emotions. And for teenagers, it's already rife. It's really developed earlier in them. So they feel emotions way more than anybody else. Their highs are really high and the lows are terribly low. And this leads to impulse control and, you know, all the risk-taking stuff that they do.
This is starting to make sense. I'm understanding the reasons behind it, because we definitely can see it, we can experience it, but we need to know why. Apart from this, though, there must be other factors that definitely influence this sort of growth phase and this development. How much of an impact does sleep have on this sort of process?
It's crucial, especially for a teenager, because they're downloading so much info, they need sleep. You can only rest, repair, and digest when you sleep, so it really is important.
Oh, wow.
Screen time is a whole other ball game. Because of the dopamine hits that they're having in their brain, screen time is amazing for them, and they keep seeking more and more of it. The problem is, you know, they're very susceptible to social cues and peers. So if there's a comment about something that they posted, it really affects them badly. They can be bullied. And then there's a lot of algorithms which are showing them things that they're interested in. So if they're looking at depression, they're going to see more and more and more about depression.
It's like a snowball effect.
Absolutely, because they're so attached to it and can't stop watching.
Oh, my word, this absolutely makes sense. And I thought, listen, for adults, we need sleep because we need to operate. But for kids, it's even more important because you need to get your Ferrari. You need to get into that beautiful vehicle that's developing within us. So this absolutely is the key. But for parents, for caregivers, what can they do to maybe assist this process, to better understand it and support this? I think this is an incredible moment of growth.
It is, and it's really hard for a parent because teenagers believe that parents don't know anything. So they don't want to speak to their parents about stuff. So I think it's important to have boundaries, and then within the boundaries, allow them to grow and experience and just, you know, get to know their developing brain. You can also find people, maybe an older brother or sister or somebody in the family that they can relate to and talk to, because most of the time they won't chat to a parent. But communication is the key for them.
I definitely think it is. And I think what's more important is that we're not going to let you go anywhere, because we have a part 2 coming up in Mzansi, and it's going to get really exciting because we're going to go through some neurofeedback sessions. I mean, we've got the expert here when it comes to neurofeedback. I'm dying to know more about this and how this can maybe impact us in a positive way. So let me tell you, don't go anywhere. There's a lot to look forward to right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Kerry's not going anywhere, and we're going to unlock those minds of these youngsters. Let's go.
Oh, man, absolutely loving that conversation. Thank you so much. And now let's look at another layer around all of our health ecosystems, if you will. Pharmacies, oh, man, they are vital. They do more than just fill prescriptions. They're often the first stop for both physical and mental health problems, helping communities manage everything from stress to anxiety, and as we've seen in this country, a whole lot more. Well, it's one of my favorite segments, time for Pharmacy of the Week, where we celebrate the healthcare heroes making a real difference every day. And this week, we are shining a light on the beautiful, the Local Choice Lifestyle Pharmacy in Rustenburg, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, officially the sponsors of Brave. Let's meet them.
Pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
Self-care is very important, and we see in today's very busy lifestyle, a lot of us struggle to get to that. So as a pharmacist and personnel in the pharmacies, we need to, even if it's just by giving advice about people's lifestyles, maybe making small adjustments sometimes with our diets or the way we use our medication, especially our chronic medication. By doing that, we can assist our community and our clients to do their self-care. You know, even as a pharmacist, you can sometimes, just by listening to someone's story and just listening to them share their problems and things, we can also help with that bit of self-care that they sometimes need to just unpack a bit. That's also something that we can help with as pharmacists. So for me, being brave means the ordinary men and women getting up every day to do their job in the community and to serve their fellow community members. Even though they have their own struggles and issues at home, if you can get up in the morning and continue doing your best for your fellow human beings, that's, to me, is a very brave thing.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
To all the pharmacists out there, we absolutely love you. Thank you for your unwavering commitment and tireless efforts as we step into this new year and new flu season as well, ensuring our communities stay healthy and thrive in this year ahead. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for your work. In fact, we'll touch base with the pharmacist a little bit later. Very excited for that conversation. Right now, though, on the other side of this very short break, I want to tell you that we're going to get into an excellent surprise. It is the Expresso competition, and it's all to do with Graham versus Clem.
You got to warn a guy when I'm going up against the guy.
Oh, do you think you're going to lose against the
Come
guy?
on. He's all about them Easter joys, and I don't know. We're going to do this if it involves eating chocolates. I'm okay with that, because that's a little dopamine button we can press if we need to. But what if we need something bigger, a bigger solution when the anxiety is too much for us? And when it comes to being a teen, I can speak from, well, long past experience. And I think we often forget how much is happening within your mind, within your body. Over that period, it can be one of the most stressful and anxious times, never mind the social construct around you. How do you deal with that stress and anxiety? We're going to continue that amazing panel discussion with Ryle in just a moment to help you do exactly that. And I think it's for parents and for teens to watch,
Absolutely.
please.
Even me, I'll be taking notes. So we'll see you on the other side of this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, opening up on S3 and inviting you to some very pertinent conversation. We're still with Kerry Rudman, and we're still talking about her expertise when it comes to brain harmonics. Now, it's incredible to know that there's a process called neurofeedback, and that's what we're going to dive into right now. It's an opportunity to deal with some of the craziness that's happening in our adolescence, and we've just understood that in our first conversation, but let's find out more about the emotion and how we can maybe deal with this in a positive and impactful way. Okay, we've spoken about this just briefly, but I'm dying to know exactly what is neurofeedback. How exactly does this work?
So we use EEG electrodes that we put on different parts of your head. It's almost like taking a photo of your brain. We can see all the pathways where your
Really?
brain fetches information.
Yeah.
And if you have what we call an imbalance, so maybe you battle to find a name or you need lists for stuff, we look at traumas, your stress levels, anxiety levels, and then from that, we play your brain back to you as sound when there's an imbalance. So it's a feedback system where your brain hears itself in 1/10,000th of a second.
Oh, your
Because
brain's hearing itself already. That concept for me is like, wow, okay, heightened awareness. I love that.
Absolutely. So each frequency in your head is paired with a certain music note. And as it's pulsing in your head, you're hearing it immediately. So your brain's seeing itself in a mirror. And we teach your brain how to balance by giving your brain reward and inhibit sounds to coax your brain into the correct pattern.
Oh my goodness, so training at developing new patterns. And in terms of like the anxiety, the sleep disruption, poor concentration that kids are possibly struggling with, is this something that can also assist in this area?
Absolutely. We found that post-COVID, anxiety and depression are the two biggest things that we deal with teenagers. Also, if they're going through all the emotional stuff that we know that they do, they battle to sleep, and then that affects focus, concentration. So everything's kind of interlinked with them. And when we get to balance it, it helps them to navigate what's going on for them with those huge emotions.
This makes sense. And in terms of the comparison between, let's say, traditional therapy versus neurofeedback, how much of a difference is there in terms of the two sort of systems?
So I kind of think neurofeedback's very tailor-made. Because we do a brain map assessment on each person, we work out what that brain needs. And it's completely non-invasive, so it's an easy thing to do. A lot of people will sleep through the training.
Wait, hang on. So your brain can be doing its thing and the rest of the body can be just chilling?
As long as your brain's
Wow.
hearing itself, it recognizes and it knows exactly what to do.
That's incredible. And in terms of a session, how long can something like this take?
So it all depends on each brain. It's how many combinations of imbalances does a person have, but also what do they want to focus on. If somebody comes to see us and they only want to improve sleep and they don't care about the rest, we can tailor make it just for what they need, or we can look at the whole. So it can be anything from 6 hours to 26 hours, depending on what we're dealing with.
And we're talking about teenagers, but I think a lot of these issues might apply to adults right now. And I think Mzansi is listening going, hang on, I'm dealing with that issue. If you've got like a specific targeted goal that you're trying to achieve in terms of, listen, I'm just struggling to do the following, is it a great idea to possibly try neurofeedback then?
Absolutely, especially if it's a child or a teenager, because the earlier you do it, the better your life's going to be.
I love that.
You don't want to go through the whole of school or whatever it is struggling. And if you're working, you own your own company, whatever it is, if your brain's fully optimized, you're going to be better. You're going to be a better dad, better person, better co-worker. So it's going to help no matter what.
I love this. Listen, I think we need to just advise them, Zanzi, because they're probably hooked right now. They're like, okay, sign me up. How do I get involved in this? What would someone do in terms of taking this process on and getting involved in it? How do they reach out?
So we are nationwide, our offices. So all they need to do is go on our website and look for an office closest to them. Go and have a brain map assessment. Even if you don't want to do the training, it's important to see the functioning of your brain. Why do I behave this way? Why do I get stuck in certain emotions? Like, what's really going on? It's very interesting.
It's absolutely interesting. If you think about the insights that you could get from this, to be able to map your mind. Come on, this is absolutely crazy. Kerry, I can't thank you enough for educating me, certainly, and I'm sure the rest of Mzansi, because we love the fact that there are options, there are solutions, there's ways that we can improve our life. And this certainly sounds like a stick in that box. So thank you for the incredible work you're doing.
Thank
I'm
you.
hoping that I can try this out one day because, I've got to unlock some things in here.
Oh, please come.
Listen, Mzansi, it just gets better and better. We've got great conversations still coming your way. I think for now, though, it's an opportunity for you to maybe fill up your pocket with some moolah, and then we'll be diving into some Health Tuesdays straight afterwards. Let's go.
Well, listen, right now I want to get you into something so good, Expresso fan, because we're going to hashtag Panda Pusha Play, and that is Powerball and Powerball Plus for 24 million rand in total estimated jackpots, and that happens today, this Tuesday. And let me tell you that you could actually be the next multi-millionaire. All you have to do is play Powerball for an estimated 9 million, and then you have Powerball Plus for an estimated 15 million rand. How do you get your hands on some tickets? Well, you go into the store and buy them, or you head to the website national nationallottery.co.za. There is the mobile app, there is cell phone banking, or simply just dial *120 *7529 hash, and that, of course, is for USSD. Now, as we progress on today, you'll see everything across our social pages, including the details on how you can get yourself some money in Panda Push-Up Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 24 million rand, and that is in total estimated jackpots today. And I'm crossing fingers and toes for you to win big. I'm hoping your payday will come super early. For now, though, I think we can expect something good. Let's head to the kitchen to find out.
What are you, buddy?
I don't know if he's trying to intimidate me because we are going to take each other on in the Expresso exceptional Easter quiz, but maybe. Hey, it's nice.
Just flashing some awards.
Yeah.
You know, all we do is we just win. It's another one we brought home, the latest one. Are you ready to go up against?
I'm not, man. I never am, but it's not going to stop me. I'm going to do it. Congratulations once again, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Now
Thank
it's
you.
proof. The best in the land. We absolutely love it. And speaking of which, when it comes to pharmacists, there's only one I need to lean on. Well, Ian, I don't want you to get jealous. Jackie Myman is here representing all pharmacists. We're going to talk about that Easter indulgence and how we can handle after the fact. Okay, we got you covered. You'll be okay. We'll chat to Jackie after this. Can we leave it in studio?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, you can make my day.
For over 78 years, Vital has been a trusted South African health and wellness brand. Vital is committed to producing the finest vitamins, minerals, and supplements to support a healthier, more vibrant life. Now, you could be one of 4 winners of a Vital hamper plus 2,500 Rand cash. Complete the steps on the competition post pinned to the top of Vital's Facebook page to enter. T's and C's apply.
Yes, relief is around the corner. Welcome back. The Easter holidays are just around the corner. In fact, and whether you are hitting the road for a family getaway or staying in for some well-deserved rest, which is perfectly fine, one thing is guaranteed: food is going to be front and center, and that's okay. But with all that indulgence, gut health can take a bit of a knock. And pharmacist Jackie Myman joins us to unpack how we can enjoy Easter without those uncomfortable feelings, the uncomfortable aftermath, because we want to embrace it. Like I want to embrace you, Jackie. I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for being here. What I love about our conversations, because we talk about those heavy hitters that often fly under the radar. And indigestion, this kind of knock-on effect when we eat can have serious effects. But we obviously want to mitigate it. We haven't hit Easter yet. We can. What is actually going on in our body when we get that indigestion? I know we blanket it with kind of one or two terms, but it's got to be a bit more complex. So what is happening within our belly when we feel that discomfort?
All right, so yes, I mean, isn't it wonderful? A 4-day week, not for you, but for us.
We'll
Anyway,
embrace it.
Yes, so we go into the Easter weekend, and unfortunately, we do tend to overindulge, and that's food and drink.
Yeah.
So when you overindulge, often you're eating fatty food, you're eating a lot because it tastes good, you're eating chocolate, you may be drinking some of our good red wine here in the Cape, and all of that just really affects the stomach. Your whole gut goes like, whoa, what's happening? So you've got all of this food. Now we know fats, caffeine, alcohol increase acid production.
Yes.
You've eaten too much, so your stomach is distended. So you get a lot of short-term effects, and those short-term effects are distension, so you get pain.
The bloating.
You get acid, plus now the pressure of this full stomach, you get acid going up your esophagus, and then you get that heartburn. You feel heavy, you feel ugh. And yes, it's not good.
It really isn't, and it often feels a lot more serious than it is, which is, I think, the scary thing. I put my hand up, and I think there are a lot out there who have mistaken heartburn for an actual heart attack or something like that, because it can get that rough.
Yes.
What do we take? Is there an instant relief? Is there something we could do to mitigate that first phase of fallout?
Okay, so the first thing is you feel this stomach is, you've got a bit of pain, maybe a bit of nausea, you've got this reflux. So the quickest thing you can do is an antacid. Go and get an antacid, take some, that instantly neutralizes. We end up with this pocket of acid on top of our gastric contents. You neutralize that. That then stops that substernal pain and that reflux. Then don't go and lie down, because you lie down and now it forces up your esophagus again. Drink fluids and maybe just go for a slow walk. Often that will help everything just settle down.
I like that. I like the idea of a nice, slow, gentle walk after a big Sunday lunch. I absolutely indulge that.
Yes.
Is there a pre-game plan that we can employ here? Is there something I can take that just makes this all go away? What should be going through our mind before we indulge?
Okay, so I want to say, Graham, don't overindulge. But of course, we all know that we are going to.
I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down somewhere. Hopefully I remember.
It's almost like those New Year's resolutions, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
All right, so what I would say is when you're going in and you know you're going to be having a really big meal, is just be mindful of what you're eating. Don't skip the vegetables and the fruit and what have you. Make sure you're still getting a bit of a balance, because otherwise too much meat and potatoes or rice, your body just doesn't know what to do with it. You haven't got enough fiber, you're going to probably get constipated or diarrhea. So be mindful of what you're eating. When you're in a big group, very often you might be sipping away at the wine, somebody's topping it up all the time. Be mindful of what you're doing. Chew your food slowly. Enjoy the meal.
Yeah,
don't bolt it down.
Come on.
Exactly. Make it, I always say it's not the destination, it's not clearing the plate, it's the journey of enjoying that plate of food. And then, as I say, after that, just always have your antacid handy and drink plenty of water. If you are drinking wine or beer or whatever your poison is, balance. Have a glass of water in between.
And it's worth noting that the alcohol has a very high sugar content, and it's very readily available to the body. So that's why it's that shotgun effect of energy and why our body gets so destabilized. My 7-year-old son, who's about to turn 8, is going, blah, 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 Jackie, give me my chocolate Easter eggs. I want a chow. How do we as parents help mitigate the fallout with our kids? Because there will be sugar, there will be chocolates.
Yes.
We know this, and we don't want to deny them that, but how do we kind of balance them out a little?
Absolutely. It's Easter, so they're going to eat Easter eggs. But we must be aware chocolate is fats, sugar, caffeine, processed food. So let them have their Easter egg, but maybe just speak to them about having some for tomorrow and the next day, and be aware, the more chocolate they eat, the higher the spike of blood sugar, the more insulin, and then they're going to get hyperactive, caffeine, then you're going to have these hyperactive children. Then, of course, the insulin kicks in, the blood sugar drops, then you get the tears and the tantrums. So just maybe have a little conversation. Your son is more than old enough to have that conversation.
He has those conversations with me now.
Absolutely.
He understands,
And you know, small children, very unlikely they're going to get heartburn. But the older children, they might have a bit of indigestion. And there's nothing wrong of your early teens. If they are really feeling that yuck, a little bit of an antacid is not going to do them any harm. It'll just neutralize the acid. But I think the main thing for parents, just try and teach your children that instant gratification, have that Easter egg immediately, but save some for tomorrow.
Yeah, moderation. I absolutely love that. Well, I'm hoping my son will get it right. I'm not quite there yet, but we'll get there, maybe in the next 10 years or so. I think parents, we do have a responsibility moving into Easter, yes, to create magical experiences, but also to look after ourselves and look after our kids. So have the conversation with them. Ask them how many they think is right, and maybe give them that antacid to rush to you when you overindulge, but it's a family affair and we love it. Some great advice, Jackie. Thank you so much. We'll be bringing you some seriously indulgent Easter recipe inspiration on Thursday. So hopefully we've brought a bit of balance as well. And we'll be showing you how citrus soda can come to the rescue when you go back for that second or maybe third helping, and we are not judging. And you also stand the chance of winning yourself 5,000 Rand in cash this week. Simply reply to the competition post on our Expresso social pages and tell us this: spicy foods or sweet treats? What's your guilty pleasure that you enjoy that sometimes leads to heartburn? And don't forget to include that qualifying hashtag citrus soda. Competition closes Monday, the 21st of April at midnight. This is 5 grand. We're going to get a lot of entries, so make yours good. You can find the T's and C's on expressoshow.com. We'll see you now.
If heartburn, indigestion, or UTIs are slowing you down, well, citrus soda is here to bring you relief and a chance to win 5,000 Rand every week right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh, and entering is easy. Simply head over to Expresso's Facebook, X, or Instagram and answer the weekly question and include that hashtag citrus soda in your answer.
Yeah, and don't let the burn hold you back. Enter now, and you could be our next big winner. T's and C's apply.
Well, right now we're in the kitchen, not only to cook, but to get into something really fun. As we know, Easter is around the corner. And what is Easter without all the favorite treats that we can enjoy? From chuckles to marshies and fantasticals, Woolworths offers a wide range of sweet treats that will make an Easter weekend so much sweeter. And this morning we are doing a little Easter egg espresso quiz edition. And the contestants are, to my right, we have Mr. Clem Pedro. And to my left, he shall appear, is Mr. Graham Richards. Two guys up against each other, getting into something so good. I know what my favorite treat is. I've got to ask you guys, what's yours?
The hard white egg with the candy shell.
I'm so here for that.
Done deal.
The hen's eggs, and how about you?
Oh, that's what they're called, hen's eggs.
Hen's eggs,
Sorry, yeah.
absolutely, on top of the list. Also, chocolate chip crust buns with the chocolate marshmallow inside in the microwave for 10 seconds, in your mouth forever, always, every day.
Bear in mind, he's an award-winning chef, so you can say things like that, eh? He's
That
allowed
is
to say
insane.
it's freshly made chocolate off the back of a cow that was grown on the Easter Islands. Whatever, dude, whatever. Just eat your chocolate.
The Easter Islands is crazy. I love this. All right, we are going to play a game. I hope you're ready to crack some clues.
Okay.
It's time for a quick Easter quiz, all right? And what's going to happen, I'll ask you 5 questions. And whoever raises their eggs first, yes, you've got eggs in front of you, does stand the chance to win something special. And if you get it wrong, the other contestants will get a chance to answer. And of course, the one with the most correct answers wins.
Is
you
it
already
this?
had a look. You already had a look.
Is this the
There.
prize?
That's the prize.
It's worth
good? Is it
trying
good?
hard for.
What's in here, man? Is
It's
it
got
lekker?
everything. It's got
No,
the
that's it.
treat sauce, it's got the bunny, it's got the hollow eggs, it's got the marshmallows.
Got the hen's eggs.
It's got
Does
the
it?
hen's
Oh,
eggs.
no, done
Win.
deal.
Okay, okay.
I like, it's like bursting at the seams. I quite
Yes.
like the look of that for
I
my
mean, cheated
Easter.
a little bit. You weren't supposed to see it. It was a
Okay, no, no,
surprise
it's fine,
for
it's fine.
Questions.
somebody. Oh,
Hopefully. All right.
okay.
I'm going to win me some eggs.
okay.
Here's question number 1.
Okay.
I'm creamy with malted honeycomb, delightfully indulgent yet iconic. With me around, life is a ball. What am I?
Malted honeycomb. Malted.
Malted.
It's Chuckles.
It's got to be Chuckles. It's got to be the OG.
And the answer is Chuckles.
Congratulations.
Okay,
How many
okay.
desserts have you made with Chuckles, Bruce?
Too many. Actually, no, there's never too many.
Exactly.
Now I know what the theme of the questions were. I thought it was going to be algebra. I wasn't feeling confident. I'm okay.
No, the
I'm
Easter
okay.
thing, we've got it.
It's Easter.
It's
Also, I've heard there's a slab with Chuckles in now, which I'm
Yes,
really amped about.
absolutely.
And an ice cream. Okay,
And hot cross
anyway.
buns.
And I
All
want
of
to
it.
see your questions.
Sorry.
Here we go.
Avert your eyes. Look that way.
Dominoes with, okay, let's go.
You adored me as a kid. I'm sweet, simple, and creamy. I would often leave a chocolate moustache behind as proof. What am I?
Oh, that was very good.
It's one of the hollow eggs.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the hot chocolate if it's going to leave stuff on your... No, it's got to be the hen's egg because it leaves...
The hen's
white
egg leaves the
moustache.
white moustache. What did
Yeah,
you say?
I'd say one of the chocolate hollow eggs because that is a chocolate moustache.
What could it be? What is the answer?
I want to change, but it's fine. It's okay.
The
hot
answer
chocolate.
is Marshy's mellow.
Okay.
We'll work on a smile today.
Okay.
Now you've got me obsessing over the hen's eggs, man.
Okay, here's another one. I come in all sorts of colors. Some spotted, some smooth, but I'm best known for my chewy jelly center. What am I, Clem?
Fantastic.
And you get the giant ones now.
Oh.
All right. So how many points do you have, Clem? How many points
He's
do you
got them
have,
all.
Greg?
He's got all the points. He's got all the eggs. He's got all the chocolates. Okay.
Look, but also my wife said today, I'm not going to win this prize. It's going straight to her.
Okay,
already gone. By
I like
proxy,
it.
it's
Incentive
nothing,
to win. Graham, your wife would also like some chocolates. I'm going to ask you this question.
Judging me. I can feel she's judging me across the screen already.
What does
Sorry,
the
love.
Easter Bunny traditionally bring?
Hi, War. Hi. Easter
Clem?
eggs.
Easter eggs. And the answer is
Goodwill and love and joy.
chocolate eggs. You get half a point. You said Easter eggs. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Here's the last one. Winner takes all. Winner takes all.
Okay.
All right,
I'm dead.
all right. What is most associated with Easter?
What do you mean?
the rabbit, the bunny, the Easter bunny.
Okay,
Can I
wait,
say
there
it?
are options. You have options.
Okay, wow.
Could it be?
Please don't make one.
Could it be A, pickled fish?
Can I change my answer?
No, answer. What do you think it is?
Well, apparently it's pickled fish. Okay, since I moved to Cape Town, the most associated thing with Easter is pickled fish.
Jesus is sitting there looking down at us right now going,
He's chowing his pickled fish and loving life, dude.
Lord, it's him. It's him.
What is your answer?
I said it's about Jesus.
Okay, well, the answer is...
Da, da, da. Check, all of us are waiting to find out if we are
The answer
going
is
to
chocolate
hell.
bunny.
I'm not going. Oh, that is brilliant.
So who's the winner if none of you
But
got
if it was, well, I didn't say chocolate bunnies. I said the Easter bunny, and by association, one
You
would
do win.
assume.
Sorry,
No,
Shane.
I've got it. No, I can't.
I actually don't want to
I
be part of this.
Who's been really badly behaved in studio for the last year? I'm just going to leave this next to them and just see what happens, man. I'll embrace it. I'll embrace it.
Well done, Graham. Please share your Easter eggs with everybody. What an excellent game with some excellent treats. Listen, shop all your Easter favorite treats at Woolies. Woolworths is available in-store, online, and on the app. And the best part is that we've got a R1,000 Woolies gift card to give away. And to enter, visit the Woolies competition post on the Expresso Facebook, X, or even Instagram pages and just answer this one question. What is your favorite sweet treat from Woolworths? And don't forget to include that hashtag Woolies Easter. The competition does close at midnight, Thursday, the 17th of April this year. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Well done, guys.
Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you this Easter. It's going to be amazing. Matt Bromley, after this, we'll see you now.
Only you can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beauties. I think you can see how excited I am for this conversation because we are joined by one of the most, I'm going to say, fearless watermen on the planet, and it is a blue planet, Matt Bromley. From near-death wipeouts to riding waves, bigger than buildings, really. Matt's journey is a powerful story of courage, of resilience, and most importantly, purpose. And with a deep love for the ocean, obviously, and a strong sense of faith, he must have it, and a passion for storytelling. We've seen him turn fear into fuel, and he's helping so many others do it. So can we get a round of applause for our fear master, Matt? But before I let you speak, my friend, before we get into what exactly big wave surfing is and why he is just so crazy, we thought we'd show you what this extraordinary human being gets up to on a regular basis. Take a look at this. Oh my word, it's always that moment at the end. Can we get a round of applause for Matt Bromley in the house? Thank you. Oh man, I wish we had a live studio audience that was just lifting the roof, dude. When you see yourself doing these crazy things, does the fear come back to you? How does that sit when you watch yourself doing these insane waves?
It almost feels like a dream, to be honest, because right now I'm back with my wife and my 2 kids at home and family life, and it's so nice and chilled. And then there are these extreme environments that I go into where fear is just so overwhelming.
What makes me scared is not even being able to plan the next one. You have to keep yourself on this knife edge the whole time, and you are the most chilled human being. You've just brought this awesome energy into our space, which is so great, but there must be a switch. So how do you prepare for something that you can't really prepare for?
So I try and simulate the big wave environment in my training. So I do a lot of stuff in the swimming pool, hold my breath with my heart racing and swim underwater. I visualize the waves long before they happen. So I put myself there before I go there. And yeah, I try build this foundation of readiness so that when the storm happens, I just pull the trigger, everything's in place. I'm strong, my mind's ready, and I'm ready to go and charge those big waves.
Brom dog. I was wondering when I would feel the need to call you that. Now I feel like I need to call you that. I'm banging tape at basis points. I love that. Why? Why do this? What was the first big wave, and why did you feel you needed to conquer it?
So I do it, I believe I've been created to surf big waves, and when I'm out there, even though I do get really scared, I feel this deep sense of peace that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that's an incredible feeling when the sense of purpose is just oozing out of every pore. And I quickly want to share a little bit about my first session at Dungeons, because that was where it all happened for me. I went out into the deep on the boat off Seal Island. It was so scary. And I was sitting out there with the pack, and the whole horizon went dark as a huge wave crashed, and I was met with my worst nightmare. And I had 5 30-foot walls of water crash over me, and I felt like I was near to drowning. And as I was paddling to get out of the water, another huge wave came, and I happened to be in the perfect spot, and I caught the ride of my life at that time. And that set me on the trajectory to start chasing these big waves.
How different could it have been if you had chosen a different path? The easier path, the panicked path, the reactionary path. Do you enjoy helping other people to step into the space as much as you do taking yourself into those actual spaces, but helping so many people embrace their fears and work through that? Which do you find more fulfilling?
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things to do is after these big sessions, bring the stories home and tell them and try and encourage people, because so I do my motivational speaking, and one of the things I love to share is that everybody gets scared, and I've been able to surf with the best big wave surfers in the world. Everyone feels the fear, and that doesn't mean that you have to stop. And that's often the point where you have to keep moving through it. And I've often found my best moments lie on the other side of my face.
Oh, completely. I love that. Always go straight towards it. In fact, that's been the blueprint of our industry. If you want to be successful, if it terrifies you, that's probably where you need to head to next. We're not going to let him go anywhere. He's going to take us through a bit of a, now that we know you can actually prepare for big wave surfing, he's going to take us through some of the considerations, and we're going to continue the conversation. If you want to ask any questions, if you want to plug into this incredible mindset, please do so on the socials. We'd love to keep the conversation going there. In fact, we've got to get through our official duties with those news and sporting headlines, and then the conversation will continue.
Thank you so much, gents. With just a minute after 7 o'clock, let's get kick-started on your second hour with some national news first, where a fresh inquest into Chief Albert Lutuli's 1967 death has begun in the Pietermaritzburg High Court. The state plans to call new witnesses, including a locomotive driver and a pathologist, to challenge apartheid-era claims that the ANC leader was hit by a train. A steam boilermaker will explain train mechanics and injury patterns. Now, the chief pathologist will argue the injuries don't match a train impact. Lutuli's family and senior ANC members attended proceedings. Prosecutors aim to overturn the original findings. In other national news, BC Jonas has been appointed South Africa's special envoy to the United States. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa made the announcement yesterday, tasking Jonas with improving diplomatic, trade and bilateral ties. He will work with U.S. officials to rebuild trust without replacing former Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool, who declared persona non grata by the U.S. government. Now, Jonas acknowledged the challenge but sees shared interests as a bridge to reconciliation. The 65-year-old will continue chairing a major mobile network operator while serving as envoy. Updates will follow via the Department of International Relations. Let's take a look further afield at your international news making headlines, where the World Health Organization says Gaza's hospitals are in collapse, calling conditions, quote, beyond description following repeated Israeli airstrikes. Al Ali Hospital's lab was destroyed and its emergency room damaged on Sunday. No direct casualties were reported, but a child died due to care delays. Israel claims the strike targeted a Hamas command center. The Church of England, which runs the hospitals, condemned the attack and demanded proof. A recent ceasefire collapsed, with Israel intensifying military operations to pressure Hamas over hostages. Meanwhile, Algeria has ordered 12 French embassy officials to leave within 48 hours following the indictment of 3 Algerians in France over the kidnapping of online influencer Amir Bokous. Now, Bokous, known as Amir DZ, is a government critic who was abducted in Paris last April. Algiers views the charges against the consular official as politically motivated. Now, France's Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot confirmed the expulsions and warned of retaliation of Algiers does not reconsider. The diplomatic rift comes and already strained ties over Western Sahara and other recent disputes. And closing off your 7 o'clock news with this story, Katy Perry kissed the earth with joy after blasting off into space on a dazzling all-woman flight aboard Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket. The 11-minute suborbital trip zipped past the Kármán line, marking a celestial milestone for Perry and foul trailblazing women, including Bezos' fiancée Lauren Sanchez and activist Amanda Nguyen. Perry's daughter Daisy inspired the adventure, with the singer saying she hopes her journey shows Daisy that dreams really have no limit. Adding a touch of magic, the capsule's name, Tortoise, and feather motif matched Perry's childhood nicknames. Now, from firework to space voyager, Katy Perry's latest feat proves that the heart and courage, even the skies isn't the limit. That's where we leave your 7 o'clock news. Let's delve into some sporting headlines. Here's Graham bringing you the latest.
Oh, it's a biggie. Let's start with some local rugby action. And finally, FNP UCT Ike Tigers have ended their title drought with a stunning 44-21 win over the FNB Marties. That was in their 2025 Varsity Cup final. Well done. And Tokoza Makaza starring 32 points on the night in a clinical team display that denied Marties a dream finish to their 150th year. To the Maroon Machine. But the Cape side finally lifting that trophy after 2 straight final losses, outclassing their rivals in Stellenbosch in front of a massive crowd. So congratulations. Well, some kudos on the way, hopefully, as we stay with rugby. The Sharks head to Edinburgh and Ulster for a crucial Vodacom URC tour, needing back-to-back wins to stay ahead of Munster in that top four battle. So Coach John Plumtree, he gets some added help welcoming back Springbok powerhouse Eben Etzebeth after his 4-month concussion layoff. Hopefully been given the all-clear, offering a major boost as the Sharks aim to secure that home advantage in the playoffs, and it will make a difference. Now we turn to cricket, and MS Dhoni rolled back the years with an unbeaten 26 off 11 balls. That was to guide the Chennai Super Kings to a thrilling 5-wicket win over the Lucknow Super Giants yesterday. So chasing 167 CSK, they broke a 5-match skid in style with Dhoni and Shivam Dube weighing in with 43 not out, sealing it late. So next for CSK will be the Mumbai Indians, and that's on the 20th of April. Now on to tennis, and things are starting to balance out again, it seems. World number 8, Andrei Rublev, breezed past Jasper de Jong 6-1, 6-3 to reach the Barcelona Open last 16, now snapping his rough patch in style. Backed by his new coach, Marat Safin, clearly it's working. Rublev showing glimpses of his best. Meanwhile, the number 13, Holger Rune, he marked his return from illness by defeating veteran Albert Ramos Vinos 7-5, 6-4 in straight sets as well. So clearly the players warmed up for 2025. Well, that's where we leave our sport for now. Matt Bromley is going to be taking Carissa through a bit of a prep for big wave surfing in just a moment, but an amazing conversation to plug into his brain as well. So stay tuned for that. Right now, let's get into your morning traffic.
Oh yes, let's dive into the world of traffic right now and see how we can assist you. Many of you heading on the roads as it comes through the hour. So let's start off in Ashburton in KZN. Now there's been an accident on the M3 northbound, and that's after the ramp from Linfield Park. Now recovery is underway, resulting in road closure, but please exercise extra caution when making use of the affected route. From KZN, we move to Cape Town now, and in Kales River, there's heavy congestion, which is underway along the R300, and that's northbound at the N1 outbound ramp. Now, delays are expected as we ease into rush hour, so do maintain a safe following distance and stay safe while driving. I think for anybody heading out on the roads, buckle up, stay safe, and plan accordingly. From the road to the sky, let's find out now what's happening in the world of weather. Reporting from the world of weather right now, and we've got some warnings to issue out for you, and especially when it comes to KZN. Now, disaster management teams are monitoring the situation, but the South African Weather Service has issued a yellow level 4 warning for disruptive rain across large parts of KwaZulu-Natal, prompting provincial authorities to urge extreme caution. Now, the heavy downpours could trigger flooding of critical infrastructure, mudslides, and major traffic disruptions. And disaster management teams are monitoring the situation and will assist where needed. On top of this, a yellow level 2 warning has also been issued for severe thunderstorms and disruptive rain, which is taking place over the northeastern and northern Cape, as well as southern Mpumalanga, with possible localized flooding. Now, residents are urged to stay safe and keep an eye on official weather updates. Well, again, it's that time of the morning where we get to share another sunrise view. And let me tell you, J-Bay has never looked this good. An incredible shot all the way from J-Bay, and this one's from Bradley. Thank you for sending this one through, but wow, you can just see the power of the sun just rising above the horizon and giving that beautiful warm glow throughout the day. I'm sure Matt Bromley might love to surf in these conditions, although they might not be big enough for him, but nonetheless, it just looks absolutely beautiful out there, Bradley. So thank you for sending this picture in. And a reminder, Mzansi, we'll do it all again in the next hour and come through on our new WhatsApp number. That's 063 036 9649. For now, though, let's see what temperatures you can expect on your side of town.
unlike the rest of us, Matt Bromley, the big wave legend that he is often looking for the worst weather, I would imagine. He's like, that looks perfect for me. Terrible weather, massive waves. But there is a level of preparedness, I'm understanding, that is essential for big wave surfing. And he's going to help Carissa on her sporting journey. And she is nailing sport after sport after sport to start her big wave chapter of her life. Look at his eyes. Look at the evil in those eyes now. I love it. He'll give you a brilliant workout, I think, that kind of speaks to the mindset, and we'll continue that conversation. Then if you are in that lane of losing weight, trying to manage your blood sugar, we know it can be quite a nuanced and quite a difficult challenge to face. We've got some expert advice heading your way after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
And on this Tuesday, what we're doing is giving you all the feel-good. We still have a superstar in the building, Matt Bromley. He doesn't just ride monster waves, okay? He trains for them too. And this morning, he shares the strength, mobility, and also breathwork techniques that keep him calm under pressure and ready for anything that the ocean throws at him. Matt, thank you for allowing me to join you on this one. Where do we begin?
Okay, so first thing we're going to do, you've never had a wipeout before, right?
You know what? No.
Okay. So we're going to kneel down.
Okay.
And I'm going to take you through what it's like to have a big wave wipeout, okay?
Could you maybe explain what a wipeout is?
Okay, so a wipeout is when the wave crashes over you and it pulls you under the water. Okay, so just keep in mind, most of the time when this is happening, your adrenaline is up and your heart is racing, but I'm going to let you off the hook with that.
Thank you.
So we'll just go straight into it. So you can just close your eyes. Yeah. Okay, now I want you to take a deep breath in and hold your breath. Now imagine a huge wave is crashing over you and pulling you under the water, inside out, upside down. It's ripping you in all directions. It feels like you're in the most violent washing machine you can imagine. You're in an underwater waterfall that's pulling you down into the depths. You can feel the pressure on your ears, the darkness around you. You're aware of what feels like the weight of the entire ocean above you, pushing you down into the depths. You try to take a stroke for the surface, but the water is so aerated with bubbles that it feels like you're in a vacuum. The wave starts to release you. 1 stroke for the surface, 2 strokes, 3 strokes. You can breathe. Woo, did you survive?
Barely.
Well done.
Thank you. How long was that? It felt like 5 minutes.
So that was probably quite a short wipeout. But yeah, that's kind of the stuff we're training for, right? For those intense situations. But just keep in mind when you're being held under by a big wave, your heart rate is through the roof, and you can sometimes have a 5-story building of water over you, pulling you down under the water. So it's really, really scary.
And you're also panicking in the moment, freaking out, right? And this is to control that.
It's to put yourself there and go through it over and over again, so when it happens in real life, you don't panic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the next thing I want to do is also breath. This is the quickest way, if you're feeling nervous for a challenge coming up, the quickest way to calm your nerves. Okay, so all you're going to do is go... Okay, how did that feel?
Good.
Okay, so the double breath opens up the sacs in your lungs, and then when you blow out longer than you breathe in, it lowers your heart rate. So if you're feeling anxious about something, it's a really good way to calm down. Just go. All right. Okay, so now, the last thing I want to say, if you ever have a big wave coming at you and you want to hold your breath, the way to get the most oxygen into your lungs, the first thing you do is you blow all your air out, so you go, so there's nothing left, and then you do a 3-stage breathe up. So you breathe into your tummy first, and then your chest, and then your neck. So we can try that quick.
Okay.
And then you hold your breath. So that's how you're going to get the most oxygen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? Raul, our nature boy, always told me in the mornings his wake-up routine is breathing exercises, and I low-key laughed because I was like, sir, the rest of us drink coffee or tea. But I get it. It does kind of calm your nervous system.
It does.
Gets your head in the game, makes you present. Yeah.
It's the best way to calm nerves is through breathing. Yeah. Okay,
Beautiful.
should we do a little quick warm-up?
Yeah, sure, I feel ready.
So one I like to do is you just step forward just to loosen up the hips, put both hands next to it, and you can just stretch into it like that. Big wave surfing is a lot about mobility and balance here, and we just open up. You can go the other way now. That's a little bit more challenging, but works on your balance a little bit. Okay, and we can quickly do the other side so we're not walking around lopsided in the day. Turn towards your knee.
This feels good.
Yeah, we don't often actually stretch our hips that much, and when we sit on a desk all day, everything gets really stiff.
Would you recommend taking a break from your desk and doing this at work?
Oh yeah, big time. Okay, so let's pick up a weight.
Okay.
So this is kind of working on activating the glutes and also a little bit of balance. So you're going to be on one leg, okay? And just go forward, and what I want you to do is lead with your heel. So that supports your low back, and just take it down and up again. How does that feel?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
You practice my balance a little bit more.
So now we're going to add a twist.
Okay.
So try place the weight on the other side of your foot. As you go down, and then twist.
Ooh.
Okay. And you can almost think in your mind to activate that glute that's stabilizing. So you go down, and you're twisting the weight across. So a lot of it in surfing is, instead of doing, say, a normal lunge, you're going across the center line.
Right.
Because when you're surfing, there's forces coming at you from every direction. So you've got to be constantly rebalancing all the time.
Super supple.
Okay.
Okay, one more, and then we gotta wrap it up.
Okay, so let's look at your big wave pop-up.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to paddle on our boards. Paddle, 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 and this is like a burpee. Paddle,
no,
paddle,
I
paddle.
knew this was coming.
And pop into position and stay low. Yeah, there we go.
One more.
So
okay.
instead of doing a burpee, we can do that instead. And we're surfing.
Okay, I got it. Paddle, paddle, paddle.
Yeah, you actually a goofy foot. You got your right foot forward, so that's
There you
your surf
go.
stance, guys. Woo!
I love it.
well done.
Man, I feel like I'm ready to take on some big waves right now. I've been surfing twice in my life, so I feel pretty like qualified or whatever.
Yeah.
I love it. Matt in studio, of course, being the superhero that we all love to see, and he's live here with us. So if you do want to give him a shout out or send any sort of questions, let us know across our socials. But right now, we're shifting gears from peak performance to peak wellness as we dive into the essentials of blood sugar control as well as weight loss and mood management. So let's get into it.
You're still on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and this morning we're diving into the hot topics of weight loss, mood management, as well as blood sugar control, because we know it's something we always get into, but do we really have an understanding? And this is why this morning we brought along our incredible experts. I'm talking about the CEO of Phytoceutics. It is none other than Laura Johnston, as well as Dr. Donnie Fick. Hopefully when we hear the words berberine and Ozempic and all these other ways that you can try and get these things under control, we can have a little bit more knowledge on them, and we're going to be making sure that you do take charge of your health this morning by finding out. Everyone, let's give our guests a Feel Good welcome, please. Good morning, beauties. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
That's good.
I mean, that was a great introduction. Who can't feel good after that?
I'm glad, especially on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Guys, I need us to jump right into it because we all have these conversations with people where we jump into Ozempic, berberine, weight loss, just all of these buzzwords. And this is why I think that, you know, it's really important that this morning we kind of understand what advice we can get, particularly from you, Donnie, in terms of blood sugar control. What do we need to know?
So the first thing, I'm looking at this hippo, right? And
Okay.
when people often ask me, what's the best way to control your sugar? I'm like, just close your mouth.
No,
just
are you
don't put it in
serious?
your mouth, right?
Yes.
But it's much, I mean, we say that, and it's not as easy as it seems, because in South Africa, we have such high rates of diabetes and obesity. I think in 2010, we had a diabetic rate of 4%. It's tripled by 2019 to 12%. So clearly, we're not doing that. We're not controlling our blood glucose, and more people are becoming obese and more people are getting diabetes. And something that I see quite often in practice is patients come in and they're like, I'm exercising, I'm eating well, it's just salads daily and I'm not losing weight. I'm like, what are you drinking? What are you doing with your liquid calories? Because that's something people don't pay enough attention to. Big frappuccinos from your favorite coffee store, Coca-Cola, Fanta, fruit juices,
no, you're
energy
coming for
drinks.
me.
And we're not even talking about alcohol yet, but all of these things are so dense in sugar. And when you look at the studies, 25% of all newly diagnosed diabetics have used highly dense glucose drinks like Coca-Cola, etc.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, we're fixing our diets, yes, we're exercising, but I always like to tell people, watch your liquid calories as well.
Sure. And you know what, guys? I'm one of those people, I've been trying to lose weight, but the weight's not trying to lose me. You know what I mean? It just keeps finding me. But Donnie, then I want to ask, because I think we then always need to look out for, you know, the telltale signs in our own bodies. What exactly can tell us that, hey, man, maybe your blood sugar control isn't so good?
So we go back to this. We always like to spike ourselves during the day with these drinks, these foods, highly rich sugar things, but then it gives you like a drop-off in the end, and you start having low mood, low concentration, irritability around about 2, 3 p.m. I notice that daily. Some people also do that as well. So that could show that your daily sugar consumption is not good and you should watch your blood sugar. And then later on down the line, you start having things like frequent urination, increased thirst, dramatic weight loss, which are more signs of diabetes, and then you should definitely go and have that checked out.
Sure. And of course, you know, these are always the ways in which I think that people are able to tell, but I think because of our high-paced and fast-paced lives, we don't always pay attention to this. But of course, luckily, we have healthy alternatives, but also natural alternatives. So, Ms. CEO, I want to come to you. Can you talk to us about these natural alternatives that we might not know about?
Yes, sure. So I think the buzzword at the moment is GLPs, Ozempic, but they all are also natural versions. So there's an ingredient or compound called berberine, and we sell a product called Biomax Berberine, and it's basically a combination of berberine with green tea and chromium. And what this does is it helps manage your blood sugar levels in a natural way.
Yes.
And I love scientific data and testing things, and I actually wore a continuous blood glucose monitor.
Oh, wow.
And I monitored what I ate with and without berberine. And I really noticed that when I took the berberine, my blood sugar level spikes were less. So it was more curved rather than a spike.
Okay.
And that really helps with these feelings of being hangry, for example, where you're hungry and you're irritable, and it's because you've had this sugar low, and then you eat, sugar-laden food and you have this spike and then you dip again. Yes. And the problem with these ups and downs is that it has that effect on your energy levels and your mood, but it also increases the chance of storing fat.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to manage your weight and manage your blood sugar levels, natural ingredients like berberine can be massively beneficial.
So in terms of us now talking about, you know, just the advice you can offer when we are talking about weight loss as well as blood sugar control and everything else in between, what exactly can you kind of offer when we're talking about people who are struggling with it?
I'd like to say, like, follow the science, right? Like, I think there's a lot of noise and a lot of talk on social media.
Yeah.
I'd always tell people for the right diagnosis and the right plan, because everyone's plan is different. Like, what works for me doesn't work for you. Please always consult a healthcare practitioner before you start dabbling into things. I think that way we look after the safety and the science is backed by it as well. So don't listen to your friends. Go see someone that knows what they're doing and just to formulate a proper plan.
And don't just buy injections off of the internet.
100%.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I agree with that. But I think also it's important to look at the whole picture. So a lot of stress, a poor night's sleep, all of that can affect your blood sugar levels as well. And again, I tested this when I was very stressed or I slept badly. You know, you reach for carbs, you reach for sugary foods.
Yeah.
So if you can help manage those external influences in your life, then you're also on the path to better health.
Amazing.
Just to touch to what Laura says, I mean,
Yes.
there's studies that even show that, like, if you don't manage the existential emotional things, you'll have compulsive emotional eating. And then it's...
Hectic.
I don't know if you've heard of the acronym HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
Sure.
If you have any of those four things and you don't manage them appropriately, you'll go and get that bar one or that Coca-Cola because you're stressed and you're hungry and you want to spike your sugar levels and feel good. So if you can manage some of that, as you said, then...
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much. I feel like you've been preaching to me while preaching to the nation, so we appreciate you. And more than anything else, I promise I'm going to make you proud with my weight loss journey, all right? Thank you. You see, my friend, this is why the Phytoceutics family is in the building. We're here to make sure that we are managing our health the right way. And you know, from blood sugar control to mood management and weight loss, it can be quite the journey. And this is why you need to make sure that you have the knowledge, but you also have the right support. And where you can find it is on phytoceutics.com, making sure that we 100% have a right, bright future and looking after ourselves the right way. You're still on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Make sure you don't go anywhere.
Optimize your gut health with Phytoceutics range of pre, pro, and postbiotics. Use code Expresso for 15% off at phytoceutics.com.
And that's code Expresso, not Curacao, Graham, or Zanella, okay?
Don't try
We're not there yet, but we will. It is a Health Tuesday, and I love the fact that we're taking that focus from every angle that we can. Respiratory health becomes a big, heavy hitter, a massive drain on costs, on resources, and of course on families. And Bonitas are proving their commitment to pushing back this winter, and we'll take you inside their story in a moment.
I love that. And Easter, of course, like you've heard many times, is coming. It's knocking around the corner. And we want to make sure that the money lasts, right? Beyond the Easter long weekend. So we're going to give you tips on how to budget and survive the Easter long weekend very soon. We'll see you now.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, opening up on S3. Like you've heard, it's a health conversation carrying on throughout this morning. It is Health Tuesdays. Now, listen, you've definitely seen the way where illnesses and flus start to become quite prevalent. But I think the best line of defense when we're talking about this is knowledge. And we've got someone here to do just that, give us all the knowledge for the season. He is the Principal Officer of Bonitas Medical Health. We're talking about Lee Callikoppen, here to talk about some incredible insights into how we are educating a nation, giving free advice that could hopefully serve us all as we enter this insane season that is something inevitable. But don't worry, we've got the help right here. Lee, how are you doing this morning? You good?
I'm very well, thank you, Raul. Thanks for having me, and good morning to all your viewers.
Yeah, listen, it's so good having you here. I think it's perfect timing as we do enter these crazy seasons. And yes, flus, respiratory illnesses are very heightened at this moment. But talk to me about what's happening at the forefront of this initiative that you've got going on, because wow, this is exciting stuff to say the least.
Yeah, no, most definitely, Raul. This is something that really excites me. You know, as a medical aid that's been around for 40 years for South Africans, we've really taken a position in terms of moving away from sick care and educating members. And one of the key aspects for us is to actually look at preventative care.
Nice,
And when we talk about preventative care, is how do we educate and create awareness around specifically the common seasonal aspects that members are experiencing. COVID taught us a hell of a lot in terms of ongoing education and knowledge around it. So to that end, if one considers going into the flu season, you know, a lot of people will face challenges associated with it. We saw that particularly last year, where we saw a rise in terms of respiratory illnesses. And what are we talking about? We're talking about flu, pneumonia, H1N1, RSV, HMPV, a lot of fancy acronyms, but in simplistic terms, pneumonia.
Yeah.
And keeping to that specific issue, what we've embarked on as a scheme is to actually create what we call a knowledge hub, specifically focusing on respiratory illnesses in terms of understanding and educating members in terms of what can be done, how can we identify the symptoms from a preventative perspective, how can we actually educate them in terms of what they can do in terms of navigating it, in terms of the type of treatment that they can sort, and in that sense, empowering and educating a nation in terms of more preventative healthcare rather than sick care.
Hey man, I feel like I should be celebrating this. This is perfect because obviously prevention is better than cure. And I love where we are going because constantly we just put a Band-Aid on the problem and we don't actually solve it inherently. And this is speaking to actually a true solution, which I absolutely love. What about this was giving you the incentive to actually make it happen? Why did this idea come about? Why did you feel South Africans needed this?
Ryan, as what I mentioned in terms of, you know, education is power. Knowledge is power, as the old saying goes. And, you know, our knowledge hub and our information is not just dedicated for our membership. So if you go onto our website, bonitas.co.za, it's actually freely available for all South Africans.
Even if I'm not a member?
Even if you're not a member.
Amazing, okay.
So that members can access things such as, you know, infographics, videos, etc., to actually understand in terms of how to navigate their healthcare and take a proactive step in terms of doing it. So, you know, to the point around what has incentivized us to do it, we believe that as South Africans and as a proudly South African company, Healthcare for South Africans, that we need to share this knowledge.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a healthier society is a productive society at the end of the day. And that for us is central to our philosophy in terms of bringing healthcare and making healthcare accessible and affordable for all South Africans.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better, man. Words of wisdom. But more so, I'm proud of the fact that there are companies and organizations like yourselves that are thinking about the people. It's not just about business for you. It's not just about making money, but you seem to actually care. And I think in this day and age, that's quite a rare thing. So definitely putting my hands together and appreciating that for you. But what would you hope in terms of this being a true success? And especially for not just your members, but for South Africa in general, because you're giving this to the entire nation. What would your idea of success be in terms of how you're seeing this initiative play out?
Well, Raul, that's a big question that I could probably spend hours in answering. But in short around it is that where the health citizen, South Africans, take a proactive approach to a healthier lifestyle. Because, lifestyle diseases can impact us later in life. We might, as young people, believe right now, we're immune to illnesses, etc.
Yeah.
But through this initiative, by people taking active steps in terms of awareness, education, knowledge of basic things such as the flu and many other type of illnesses, to understand in terms of how can they navigate and improve their health and take preventative steps early on in their life. And in terms of further to that, how do you actually create awareness across various societies and so that we can all as a society grow in terms of becoming a healthier society and take proactive care of our health rather than waiting for later in life when you're trying to seek help through a medical aid or various avenues to take care of it. So early detection, preventative care is critical for us, and we're hoping to achieve that through this knowledge sharing and utilizing the information that's on our website and through the Respiratory Illness Hub.
Listen, Lee, this is so cool because I'm just picturing this world where South Africans can actually live out their true potential. And I think a lot of these ailments, these illnesses and everything else that's affecting us is limiting us from actually becoming ourselves and becoming our authentic selves. And you're giving South Africans an opportunity to do that. So I can't thank you enough. Just a quick one. Let's just remind South Africa, where can they access this information? Because again, you mentioned that it's available to everybody right now, not just Bonita's clients. So where is that website? What do they go to?
You go to www.bonitas.co.za/respiratory hub, and the information is available. It's there to consume. But I have to stress, if members or a patient is experiencing illness, other than the information available, seek advice from your healthcare provider, especially your GP. They're there to assist you.
Absolutely. Lee, I can't thank you enough for coming through. You
Thanks,
have
Val.
given us a breath of fresh air when it comes to the box of health being ticked. And that means you, South Africa, can capitalize on this. Get over to their website, get your box ticked when it comes to health, and let's carry on with this incredible conversation. Lee, I can't thank you enough. And yeah, I'm feeling at ease. We've got solutions finally. Yes.
Thank you.
At Bonitas, we've got your back. We make our plans simple, so they're easy to understand. When you need us, Bonitas. Join now.
Well, seeing as we are potentializing you today, let's see if we can do that on another level. Panda push a play Powerball and Powerball Plus today for 24 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Tuesday. You could be our next big multi-millionaire, so you've got to play your Powerball for an estimated 9 million rand, then Powerball Plus for a further 15 million rand today. So please go and get your tickets. You can do it in-store. You can go nationallottery.co.za online. You can use their mobile app. You can use your own cell phone banking app. Generally has a little drop-down. You can dial *120 *7529# for the USSD. There are so many ways. Just pick one and do it, and we'll keep all those details up on our social media platforms, so you've got no excuses. Panda push to play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 24 million rand today.
Well, that sounds so good, Gray. Imagine all the Easter eggs you could get with that money. No, we're not talking about overspending on chocolate, all right? What I do want to get into in just a little bit is all about budgeting over the Easter weekend. It's going to be a really interesting time, and I think many of us have to have our eyes on our pockets to make sure we make the right decisions. And then not only that, maybe you decide to spend your long weekend in KZN. Well, listen, Kyle, our very own Kyle Clark, went ahead and enjoyed it for us to let us know and give us a heads up about this bucket list place that we all want to enjoy come Easter. We'll get into that straight after the short break.
It's my feel-good breakfast
All right, let's keep a cool head. Okay, let's keep our wits about us as we head into the Easter festivities. It's time to lock in those budgets. But what are the absolute essentials and what could we maybe do without?
Oh, goodness. Without? I don't know what that word means. No, we're about to find out in a round of a rapid fire Easter essentials versus non-essentials this Easter.
Wow.
I don't know what that means
Can we call it
either.
an addition? Because this feels like it's an addition. It needs to be a whole thing, okay? Because I don't think many of us do budget going into Easter, which is maybe the problem. A pick will come up on the screen and we're going to decide if it's considered an essential or non-essential item. And we're going to give ourselves no time to think about this. So we're going to look at both Easter essentials versus non-essentials. I'm going to say that's an essential because it's an Easter egg bunny. It's essential, or is it? Okay, so let's see if you guys agree with us. Let's bring up our first essential, non-essential. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that is the first
one. Okay, so our
one.
first one is the chocolate Easter egg bunny.
Essential.
It has to be essential, at least one.
At least.
And that's our plan, is to kind of maybe go less is more this Easter and really give good quality, something that I'll enjoy. But
exactly.
I think it's essential.
You get one big one and then maybe just like a handful of small ones. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Just
it's an essential.
Step away. Okay, so we think it's essential, but you can argue with us if you want. Let's bring up our next essential, non-essential, and see what it looks like. Oh, marshies.
Oh, that's tough.
Look, there's layers to this game, okay? And when you talk about what are essential eggs, I think you can distill it down into hen's eggs and marshmallow eggs. It's generally where the world is divided, like southern and northern hemisphere kind of things. Essential, I'm going to say, you've got to have at least some marshy eggs.
I would say essential because they're also the most affordable option. Budget.
Less is more. Less is more.
Marshies make the list.
Okay, so I don't know if we're winning or losing the game, but we've got two essentials so far. Let's bring up our next.
Essential. Of course, an essential. Gray, have I not convinced you yet that pickled fish is the way to go?
I don't know. In this alternate reality, we find ourselves, apparently pickled fish are essential. I'm going to say for me, it's not a deal breaker. I'm not going to like leave my mommy's house if she hasn't served me the pickled fish
will be leaving.
over Easter. Okay, now watch my mom just being her is going to serve me only pickled fish on Easter. I'm going to say non-essential. You say essential.
Absolute
Why?
essential.
Why?
Because it's not Easter without pickled fish. I'm going to my mom's house specifically, also to see her, but for pickled fish. Specifically that, actually.
Sorry, mommy. Sorry. Let's take a look at the next one. It's got to be essential, and I've eaten so many of them. Oh my word!
Same.
My new thing is with marmalade on top.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
Oh,
this is my senior era, so I like my marmalade. Okay.
Nice cup of tea. You drink it out the saucer too.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, but I think it's essential. I mean, how can you not have hot cross buns on Easter? Come on. Okay,
I would agree.
essential.
I don't think I've had a non-essential yet.
Oh, I hope they better put something that we really don't need. Okay, let's bring up the next one and have a look. So I think Easter is essential because we need these sweet treats. We've got to put them in their place and enjoy them.
I would agree with that, absolutely. Well, let's get into it. When it comes to occasions, we all want to spoil our kids, but also our loved ones. So how do you do that within your means, considering we've just said all of that is essential?
We are, and I'm learning this more and more with my kids, involve them in the decision-making process so they can be represented in the answer, because then they're going to be a lot more comfortable with it. But you also set a rhythm, and unfortunately, we are big on occasions, and the ritual around occasions, really essential. You want to have big moments. The fallout for chocolate, not so much. So for me, let them decide how much is too much and work through that with them, I think. Okay, let me put this to you. What advice do you have for your younger self when it comes to identifying the essentials versus non-essentials? Because maybe the younger self has got advice for the older self, because I don't know if you've learned any new valuable lessons judging by your voting. What would you say?
I don't think I have learned anything. No, I think that I don't think I learned anything. No, when it comes to budgeting over Easter, I do think it's absolutely necessary to spend money on, I would say, your loved ones, and not necessarily splurging on a holiday in the middle of the year.
Or
I don't
colleagues
think that's
or
important.
things
Or
like
colleagues, anybody outside of your periphery, not you, Gray. I don't think that's very important at all. But because Easter is such a significant holiday for me and for my family, traditionally, spiritually, all of that, I would put some sort of money behind it. but not necessarily my life's earnings.
And these moments do matter. When you look back at your younger self's core memories, it's generally around moments like this. It's around the Easter egg hunt. It's around the reward of finding that Easter egg that you never thought, seeing the bunny that was so big that you just didn't believe you could eat it all, and you did. There are so many magical moments woven in. I think this is a time to kind of have that kind of balance, but I'm with you. I think your younger self would have loved Easter this year. It's going to be an indulgent one.
Huge.
And now that we've established our list of essential versus not so many non-essential items, here's a game plan to help you stick to your budget with a little info courtesy of ABSA. So from a budget perspective, set a realistic Easter budget. Think about it beforehand, prioritize those essential expenses, plan ahead, and then steer clear of impulse buys to stay financially on track.
I'm trying. I think the planning ahead is absolutely important. Also to shop smart by seeking out deals. I love a deal, comparing prices and buying in bulk to make sure that the Easter budget can actually go a little bit further than April.
I think that's how the Marshy eggs got in the game. They were like, oh, we are going bulk, okay? Then you can monitor your spending. Monitor as you go. Just keep checking in and monitor closely. You can use mobile apps. There's some great budgeting tools. So stay within your lane, within that budget, and keep your finances on track.
And I think at the end of the day, let's focus on what truly matters at the end. Focus on creating lasting memories with loved ones by prioritizing quality time and enjoying low-cost or even free Easter activities over lavish spending. I'll take that one.
And that's why she gets her mommy to make the pickled fish and she doesn't make it herself. Now, you can shop without worrying, and it's even more stress-free for ABSA customers as they earn up to 30% real cash, actual money back, depending on your rewards tier at the specific retailer. So for more information, I really do suggest you check out absa.co.za.
Absolutely loving these top tips. So let's keep the tips coming right now. And I've got a tip for you. If you want to have a great time this Easter, then why not think of KZN? I mean, we got raw, authentic beauty, incredible people, and so many beautiful experiences. And our very own Carl Clark got to do just that. Compliments of KZN Tourism. This man got to go all the way to the Drakensberg, something big on my bucket list, to experience an Easter sensation like no other. This man literally unlocked KZN's magic. And it's time for us to go check out exactly how it all went down. Oh, I'm jealous. Welcome to the Drakensberg in the Zulu Kingdom, the place to find your magic this Easter season. And of course, my feel-good family, it's yours truly, and that means you are getting a preview as my +1. Man, this view is absolutely majestic. I have loved checking in here. Why do you believe that Champagne Sports Resort is such an incredible offering for families coming here for the festive and Easter season?
It has to be one of the most scenic parts of the country ever. It really is just incredibly beautiful. There's so much to do for everyone, whether you're an active person who enjoys hiking, walking, or whether you just want to come here and relax and chill. If you're feeling active, you come and play this beautiful golf course behind us here, where you see is ranked number 20 in the country, but I would say it's probably the most beautiful course in South Africa. There is just so much to do. You can go zip lining, you can go river rafting, and the beauty of central Drakensberg is it's 2.5 hours from Durban and 4.5 hours from Johannesburg, so it really is very accessible.
My feel-good family, it's time to find my magic in the Zulu Kingdom in KwaZulu-Natal and to see the best that Drakensberg has to offer. First, it's me and this view. Let's go.
My tourism experience in KZN felt like a hidden gem. Every moment felt extremely unforgettable. That's why this is the perfect getaway for Easter season.
Tell us a little bit about Four River Adventure.
It's Four Rivers Rafting and Adventures. We offer zip line, archery, paintball target shooting. We offer the walk gamer. We do quad bikes as well, and also walk gamer. Then we have quads as well.
Amazing, Sponga. I'm ready to get going. I think zip line first, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's move.
Let's go.
My time at Four River Adventures was majestic. Zip lining all the way down as you get an opportunity to see the magical views of Drakensberg was priceless. From ziplining to quad biking, I had an absolute blast, and I could feel the buzz of Jazz at the Berg calling my name. And that drive through the Drakensberg was like nature's own prelude, setting the stage for a perfect evening of smooth jazz.
From an exclusive look to the greatest lineup in jazz history, you better get moving because Jazz at the Berg 2025 starts right now. Tabani, the director at Jazz at the Berg 2025, and we are so happy to be here. This place is absolutely remarkable, Tabani. How do you believe that this contributes to the entertainment scene in the KZN?
Our very own selling point is that we are in the middle of nowhere. We attract travelers from all over the country. 80% of the employment of this area is from tourism, and this is from events like this that contributes to local economic development. I can tell you right now, if you can go to any establishment, it's full because of this event.
Events like this do such an amazing thing for entertainment as well as tourism, because when I look at this, luckily I did tourism as well as school, so I understand what it does, from the security personnel, from the people that cook, and also for us as well as local artists. We've been given a platform to perform here.
Being here is really, I was scared in the beginning actually. And he was like, no, you need to feel good, like you need to have energy. It's my first time actually being performing in a huge crowd like this, but it's really nice, it's really nice.
The weather gods have been amazing. Having left Joburg wet and to get here to like nice warm weather in a World Heritage Site is absolutely amazing. So when you come here, you expect good weather, you expect good people. Everyone's been singing out loud. It's really amazing. It's just great vibes all around.
For someone like me who's from Joburg and has lived in Joburg for the longest time, I go to events that are 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes away. This 5 hours outside, you get to really see our beautiful country and everything that it has to offer. And events like this, places like this, literally bring us out to see it and also experience it.
It's a Zulu kingdom. I love it because it's more work as well for the people. Look at the music. Lord Jesus, more money for people, more job creation as well. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. It's good for KZN tourism, and people get to explore even other places that they don't know of and they've never ever heard of. So yeah, I love it.
What the organizers of this show have done is, create a lineup that encourages the young and the old to come through. It's giving an opportunity to guys like myself, and Kujenga, obviously the lovely Jizza Sepumas on stage, and there's spaces for us to be able to showcase what we have. The crowd is still singing right now, so it's been, I think, a really great experience for anyone who's looking to tour the region.
This Drakensberg has really captured my heart, and it's events like Jazz at the Berg that has brought life to the mountains, but more importantly, open up new doors for tourism in KZN. There's magic here, and it's only the beginning.
Carl, that looked amazing, bro. What an incredible experience. I've never seen the Drakensberg like that, to be honest. And that's just another reason for you to maybe book your ticket, head off to KZN and take advantage of all the magic that's available. Listen, if this isn't anything to go by, then there's still beaches on the coastline. There's incredible hikes that you can head out to, and just experiences galore. Something that will definitely make magic memories for a lifetime. So what are you waiting for? Go book your tickets, go get involved in that one. And we're going to remind you to stay involved in your Feel Good Breakfast Show right now, because there's still so much good stuff to look forward to. We've got solutions when it comes to allergies, and again, ticking that box when it comes to health on this Tuesday, but then also bringing you some marinated braai items. So everything you need and more coming your way in just a bit of Zanzi. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Sneezing, itchy eyes, runny nose. Sound familiar? I'm sure it does. Now, for many of us, allergies show up with every change of season, but for some, they never actually go away. And today we're joined by digital content creator and mompreneur Babalwa Iso, who's been on a long journey with allergies. Now, from seasonal struggles to year-round flare-ups, she's here to share how she finally found relief for herself and her family with a solution that's become a total no-brainer. Babalwa, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I love that you've also dressed to the occasion. You look beautiful.
I'm a true brand ambassador.
Yes, we love to see it. All right, let's get talking about your journey a bit. Hay fever as well as allergies have been something that you've kind of struggled with for quite some time and year-round, not even seasonally. So I want to get to talking about your experience and how it sort of altered your quality of life at the end of the day.
So allergies are something that can be passed down genetically. My mom is like an allergy sufferer, and I've actually also passed it down to my son.
Hectic.
I started suffering in spring season mostly. When I moved to Cape Town, I noticed that there was a spike mostly during the spring season, but with the pollution and global warming, I noticed that I actually suffer throughout the year. And it's the craziest thing because once your allergies start, it really just can put you down. It stops your life and you really just don't know how to enjoy life outside of home. I've noticed that I would have to even close the windows around the house. If I go outside, I'd have to come back home, take off all my clothes that I actually wore outside and shower again just to remove all the pollen and just to stop the itchiness and like the feeling of uncomfortability. And it really is such a problem that I feel that it can stop your life if you don't really find ways to mitigate and to manage your allergies. Yeah, it's been such a long journey and a very stressful journey, but thankfully now I am very educated with regards to how to manage my allergies.
All right, Babalwa, when it comes to your main triggers and also how to avoid them, how do you go about doing that?
I think it's also important to understand that allergies don't go away. Like if you are an allergy sufferer, you need to understand how to deal with them. Like it's not something that magically can go away. So you need to find like certain ways that you can manage it. And thankfully for me, when I started using Telfast, I also introduced it to my kids. I manage it by knowing that, okay, I need to take my dose before I go to bed every evening so that I wake up in the morning and I know that I'm good throughout the day because it is up to 24-hour relief, which is amazing. And I think the trick with managing allergies is really just to start before they really affect you, because when they do affect you, they can really get you down. So if you know that you are an allergy sufferer, know that, okay, I need to be proactive and take my medication prior to when I am exposed to an area that could be a trigger.
It's almost like prevention's better than a cure at the end of the day. Tackle it when you can at first.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into when that pivot actually happened for you, that you took control of your life, because I know you've also even done the seasonal steroid shots. So what happened that you decided, okay, no, now is the time to really take hold of this?
I think once I started being a mom, I became more aware of the things that I put into my body, because obviously I'm trying to have a long life, like to live longer, to, you know, have medication that is sustainable. And then when I picked up that my youngest son is an avid allergy sufferer as well, that's when I actually started doing more research into finding the right medication that would be fit for me as a mom, as well as fit for me and the kids, you know. I love Telfast because it is paraben-free. It is a non-drowsy medication, of which if you are an avid allergy sufferer, it's really difficult to find a product in the market that doesn't make you drowsy. Like most of the medication that we find over the counter, I would find that would make me drowsy and throw me off for the rest of the day, which means that as an entrepreneur, I am not productive. And whenever I am down, I need to give me something that I know like will be sustainable, and I need to take it and continue working, you know, life must continue. Same applies with my kids. Like there are other medications in the market that you would take and then you're literally knocked off for the rest of the day, which isn't really sustainable, especially like as a boy, you know, boys play sports.
Yes.
And you really need to give medication to your children that is healthy and is sustainable, that really doesn't also take them out of their day-to-day routine. So I was very intentional about finding the perfect product that is suiting for me as well as the kids.
Babawa, thank you for joining us today and spreading that good word. Absolutely beautiful. Of course, come back, please. And don't let allergies hold you back from living your greatness. With the right solution like Talfos, you heard us say it, it's a no-brainer. And if you're experiencing symptoms, visit your pharmacist or head to Talfos website to learn more. Now get fast, non-drowsy relief that lasts 24 hours because nothing beats Talfos.
Recognize the signs and symptoms of allergies so that you can live your greatness every day. Nothing beats Talfast for fast, non-drowsy, 24-hour allergy relief.
Oh, absolutely love that conversation. Now I can smell a braai, and that has literally overtaken my brain. Do we really ever need an excuse to fire up the braai? We certainly don't in this kitchen, probably not. But if you're looking for one, well, Easter weekend is the perfect time to do it. It's South Africa. We go outdoors, and Woolworths is giving us even more reason to do that. W Rewards members, we get 25% off any 2 marinated braai items, while all customers get 20% off. And this includes all of our favorites, whole snook, chicken estapadas, pork ribs, and the list goes on. And this is going to last all of about 3 seconds. The espetadas, they were smelling absolutely amazing as they were cooking, and that's what kind of drew me here. You're never shy to get the coals going. Is this how you do Easter, Shirley?
It's how I do breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, Christmas, everything.
On the coals. Why not? Why not? But I absolutely am obsessed with the Woolies marinated braai range. Really. And you kind of need to change the way that you talk about food. When someone says, what you're making for Easter, you should say, I'm having my private chefs just prepare the beautiful spread, and all I have to do is just kind of put it together. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Because I personally know the team back at Woolworths who work on these products.
They are private chefs.
And they are chefs that literally have been doing this for so long. It's restaurant-grade quality food that you get to take home and get
and steal the thunder and pretend that you did it.
Make it your own. And it's all because of that, the time and the effort that goes into to developing the sauces and then the marinating process. It is why the food is that
and
good.
it's a South African flavour palette.
It
and I
really
think we
is.
often miss that. We put all of this extra emphasis on imported stuff and the quality from somewhere else because it's got the luster. But we forget, then you're playing in a space that doesn't match your palate. So you might like 1 or 2 things that echo what you like, dip into your own little basket, and suddenly everything ticks that box. I doubt there is one thing here that isn't amazing.
Exactly. I know. I agree with you.
Even
Buy
that
South
little
Africans.
lettuce leaf over there is just putting his hand up going, hey, man, I'm the best lettuce that ever lived.
Me too. So buy South Africans for South Africans. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're starting with our marinated
Yes. Now, think about the marinated steaks. These are, also if you're a bit of a gym bro or gym girl, these are fantastic. These are great. The portion size is amazing. And again, because it's been marinated, it is super, super tender.
I was going to say, because with a thinner steak, I suppose you've turned me into a bit of a purist. I want my slab of ribeye. I want to treat it like I treat my steak. So I used to stay away from marinades, and then you start playing around with your beautiful fatty meats and combining those flavors.
Yes.
And I suppose maybe the ribs is a great way to understand the value of a good marinade. But why not on a steak?
Why not?
Why not?
And it is about playing around. You spoke about the South African palate. We don't like just salt and pepper. Salt and pepper is great, and there's certain foods that we do salt and pepper, and we appreciate the authenticity of that dish. But we like spice.
I want funky, man.
We love spice, and that's where it comes through, especially with the marinated items. I'm going to ask you to pass the ribs for me. And yeah, if you think about it, we've got a very sweet palate in South Africa. We like sweet, we like sour, we like spicy. And this definitely is the ribs, minus the spice, which you can add yourself to give it a little bit of a kick. Here goes scissors for you.
Which side would you like me to cut? I don't know how you would.
I'll go for the empty side. We'll keep all the marinade.
There we go.
So,
there we go. That's a clever little kitchen hack right there.
I just dropped it in the imaginary bin. There we go.
There's gold under there.
There is gold. So what I like to do is I always go, we save that gold that's coming out there. I like to go on the curved side first to get some nice color on that. Then I turn around. Because people, I see, they like to do just the top, the boat side. and then the underside doesn't have that much love. So I always like starting on the underside, giving us a beautiful color. I keep all that marinade.
And that's where you get the beautiful chewy bits where you've got the best texture on that side.
Absolutely.
I get that.
And you don't throw the marinade. I've also seen people toss the marinade away. I'm like, that's the magic.
This is half of what you paid for, yo.
Exactly.
Just savor the flavor.
Keep the marinade. Don't add all the basting on at once. There's sugar in there. It's going to burn. So we're gonna do it in the stages. We're going to get some beautiful color on the underside. Turn over again, start basting.
Are these pre-cooked?
It's pre-cooked.
Oh,
if you had to do it, remember talking about your private chefs?
Exactly.
If you had to make this from scratch, you're looking at about a 3.5 hour affair. Clear your calendar. You're not going anywhere for the whole day.
No, it was a weekend
ribs.
exercise for me, from creating the marinade to the sitting in the marinade to the slow cook to the finish on the braai, all of that. It was a
Absolutely.
weekend. It was a weekend.
So the beautiful chefs at Woolies have done it for you. Not only that, they want you to really focus on spending time with your family this Easter, so they've come through with the sides. I'm going to man the braai, okay?
Okay.
Let's talk about
What
some
do
of the
you need?
sides that we've got. So we have got a beautiful rosa salad. Fresh, delicious. I love something fresh with a braai.
You've got it.
You've got to. Because of all that smoke, sweetness, sauce that you got going on there, that crunch and delicious freshness from the salad, you need a salad, okay? Then we're coming through with the garlic bread. Guys,
wow.
You get garlic bread, right? And then you get garlic bread from Woolies.
How do they even get that much garlic and butter in there and keep the shape? It's like they've taken everything out, put it all in, and I don't know how
And
they
it's
do
the
it.
amount of garlic that's in there also that makes it, garlic butter in there that also makes it different to everyone else. The ratio of bread to butter in other places, sad.
Yeah, I don't want no dry
Sad.
garlic bread. Come on.
That is amazing. It is so good. And then we got the pumpkin fritters. And then do you want to do a little, let's see. Pumpkin fritters are really great. And I like serving it on a savory platter. I feel like the flavors go really well. So have it as a dessert if you want. We're going straight up for savory today. And then Tiff, our amazing kitchen manager, grilled some corn.
Ooh,
Think food, but that you eat with your hands. Keep it nice and social activity.
Yeah, like tapasy.
Tapasy. Exactly what I was thinking.
They can lean on what they like. They can go back for something that they've really enjoyed. They can swap and trade.
Absolutely.
I like that so much.
The legend that is the Woolies potato salad, also done for you. Everything sorted. We've got some spring onion just to kind of like use as a garnish, a little bit of that allium flavor to finish things off. Don't waste. Don't waste. Spend the time with your family. It's really, there's two festive seasons in a year, Easter and Christmas. And Woolies want you to spend all that time with your family, not in the kitchen slaving away. The pickled fish is amazing. It is so good.
The private chefs have outdone
The
themselves.
private chefs have outdone themselves this year, from the sweet treats, Easter eggs, pickled fish, hot cross buns, braai sides, to the roast that you're going to have on Sunday. Your private chefs at Woolies have done it all for you. All for you.
And he would know, okay? I absolutely love the fact that half the battle is done. You still get to steal the kudos afterwards. And most importantly, you and your family get to enjoy a feast. And W Rewards members, don't forget, 25% off any 2 marinated braai items. And there are many. So while all customers, of course, get their regular 20% off now, and this offer is available at Woolies until Sunday, the 20th of April. Not a huge amount of time, so you can shop it in-store, online, or using their app. And then, as always, we like to sweeten the deal ourselves. We've got a 1,000 Rand Woolies gift card to give away. And if you want to enter, visit the Woolies competition post on our Expresso Facebook, X or Instagram page, whatever your poison, and tell us this. What Woolworths marinated braai item is on your Easter weekend menu? Don't forget to include hashtag Woolies Easter. That competition closes at midnight on the 20th of April, as I said. So please jump on board. You can find the T's and C's and the private chefs on expressoshow.com, because we've got our own private chefs as well. That looks amazing.
It smells amazing.
I know. You've got a braai master air about you today. I like it.
Who wants ribs for breakfast? Yeah, I do. Cameraman Petey. Oh, yes.
Oh, yum.
Bring flavor to the table with Mrs. Ball's this holiday season. Show us how you use Mrs. Ball's chutney in your holiday meals, and you could win a share of 40,000 Rand. It's easy. Just comment on the competition post with your dish on Facebook and X. On Instagram, share your creation to your feed and tag us both. Don't forget to use the hashtags Mrs. Balls and bring your flavor to the table. So grab your favorite Mrs. Balls chutney, get creative in the kitchen, and let's bring the flavor to the table.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back at your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And listen, Easter is feeling so real. It's around the corner, and we've got so much to celebrate, especially when we're talking about superstars, queens, royalty, which we have right here, and fresh from an incredible tour which started off in Mbecha. We are dealing with the one and only Lebo Sekgobela, someone who is serving a bigger picture, serving and acting like an angel in our country, doing the absolute most. And ahead of a recent release of that new album, Kept by Grace, I cannot be more excited to chat to our queen of the day, Lebo in the house.
Oh my God, you make me feel like drum roll, everybody, that's it happening, boom, 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 boom.
If I had my way, this would be a red carpet right now.
I know.
You deserve it. How are you doing?
I am good, I'm excellent, highly favored, and excited to be sitting with you.
And I'm grateful that I can get some of this energy right now. It is so divine, it's so pure. I can clearly see why people are losing their minds when they see you perform. But let's first talk about Easter, because I know this is a beautiful time entering the weekend, obviously with your faith being so strong and the way that you're serving. This must be more than just a weekend for you.
No, it's more than a weekend. I mean, it's for me to pass over, you know, just remembering, you know, the amazing, you know, sacrifice and the blood that was shed, you know, so that I may have life and have it in abundance, and I'm leading that life, you know, because of the grace, you know, of the cross. So that's what we're celebrating. You know, I know the Christian fraternal, everybody's excited, everybody's getting ready to travel, you know, to go to churches. So yeah, I'm one of them.
You're one of them, and I mean, your entire journey from where you grew up to some of the scares that you had, near-death experiences in 2023 with the operation, but yet we rise up, we conquer, and I'm so grateful that you have done that. There's clearly something special inside of you. With regards to Easter, are there any like special traditions you're looking forward to this weekend?
I mean, like, you know, traditions where? How can I do traditions while everyone is calling you this side, that side, that side?
Want a piece of you.
I mean, like, want a piece of me? I think by the time Monday comes, I'll be finished, but I'll be excited, you know, to be sharing, you know, the gift that God has given me with everybody, you know, across the country. So I'm excited about it.
And everybody has been excited because you used that gift to put on a body of work, and it came in an album which everybody has been celebrating, Kept by Grace, which has been beautiful to say the least. What's the response been from your side? Overwhelming?
Definitely overwhelming. It has been doing very well. I mean, Ineba was over 1 million, you know, and the album is doing you know, exceptionally well, and I'm excited with the love that the family is showing. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to giving them more of myself and more of this gift here.
And you are literally doing that, because it's not just the album that you're giving us, you're giving us a grand tour all across South Africa. You've just come from Mbecha, which I believe, and from what I chatted to the people there, they were so grateful. They were actually upset afterwards because they realized that you're leaving them and then they're going to be empty.
I know. but I'll come back. You know, they must just make a way that I come back. I told them, let them just get me a small zozo, and then I'll be okay just to come back. But I'm excited about the tour, you know, literally because we had people, I mean, in Gauteng who supported, you know, because I remember when I was here, when we were recording the tour, it was in Carnival City and it was a sold out. And we had amazing people that came in, you know, and everybody now is testifying how they've been kept by the grace, you know, through everything that, you know, people are just going through. And now the tour has taken place. I mean, Gqeberha welcomed us with so much love. And now we're looking forward to the Free State one, you know, where we'll be going to Kroonstad, you know, on the 10th of May, and also going to Rustenburg. You know, they've been on my neck to say, when are you coming to Northwest? So like literally I will be going to Northwest, and I have Bloemfontein also on the lineup, but I'm also excited that I'll also have Cape Town, you know, on the, because everybody's asking like,
everybody wants you, right? And I'm grateful that you are giving the people what they want, a chance to connect with your music, a chance to, I think, connect with the energy that you're serving, because I think it's healing, I think it's empowering. And there's a specific reason why Mzansi is resonating with you right now, because through that healing comes this great potential that you are, I think, activating through these moments. We talk about the tour, we're talking about the traditions coming up with Easter, but what about you? What does it mean and feel like for you being able to take this gift that you've been blessed with and to serve it and to act across the nation, having this sort of power? What is that feeling like for you?
Sure. I mean, for me, it's literally, you know, I would want to be the least of people, you know, in their eyes, but I want to be somebody great in the eyes of God. you know, I want to be a servant, you know, to the people. And I remember earlier this year, you know, through my foundation, I managed to take 10 students to university, you know, which I'm excited about it because also for me it's part of serving.
To get
you
like
know.
a qualification?
Yeah,
Or-
so I know
Wow.
there are 2 who are in Cape Town,
Yeah.
there's 1 in UP, there's 2 in Northwest University. Universities, I've never been myself.
Yeah.
Because I never had the privilege. I'm not saying it's late to study, you know, but I never had the privilege to go to university because my family then could not afford, you know.
yeah.
So I was okay with that, you know. Then I learned to be an entrepreneur and to be that woman who works hard, you know, and seeing the blessings that God has given me and seeing that I can also help others through my foundation to assist them to go to university. I'm excited about that, you know. So for me, it shows me that I am sharing the grace that I've received, you know, with others. Yeah.
Sure, and we are celebrating that throughout this morning. Listen, Mzansi, Levo's not going anywhere. We've got performances coming up. I think if you can just right now remind them, Mzansi, of where you're going to be next. How do they get involved in this tour? Because it's getting sold out, and I'm sure they're going to be disappointed they can't get the tickets.
No,
Plug
I
the
know
people.
they're going to be disappointed. Make sure that you get your ticket. You know, for the Kronstadt, tickets are available. Make sure that you get them. For Rustenburg, tickets are available. So visit my social media page so that you get more details, you know, of that and how to get the details of the tickets, you know, so that you come. Yeah, because I think I'll make sure that you fly from Cape Town. And
Oh, I'll do anything to
And then
come
we
see you
do it.
perform and get that healing on. Lebo Sekgobela is going nowhere. We get to celebrate her this entire morning. We've got performances coming up, and trust me, you are in for a treat. Ooh, I can't wait. Thank you.
So beautiful. The conversation is going to continue right now. And Easter is around the corner. I've said it before. I'll say it again. And whether you're planning a laid-back brunch or even a full family feast, say that 5 times fast, setting a breathtaking table can definitely make the day just feel so much more special, which is exactly why we brought in stylist Megan Pedro, who's here to help us bring the seasonal magic to our dining room. Now, Meg, looking gorgeous, here to match the tablescape.
I match you.
Thank you. I was hoping that you would see I came to twin with you today. What are some of the updates that we can do this tablescaping this Easter when it comes to maybe the theme, the colors, the textures?
Okay, trends, when we talk about trends, I often kind of steer away from it because it really is for a short time.
Right.
But Woolies is doing timeless trends. It really is that. It's pieces that are going to last very, very long in your collection and in your home, and be able to build up on it, which we love with homeware, right? So we've got gorgeous, I mean, when we talk about textures, we're talking about cottons, we're talking about linens, we're talking about woven materials. It's all about the natural elements with Woolies, and especially we're bringing in nature. I mean,
look at these.
I'm going to actually show you these because this is the Oregon range.
Wow.
It is so, so beautiful. This is our earthenware and it is stunning.
Because this is textured in terms of the pattern, but then also the almost hand-drawn details.
And it is not overwhelming to the eye.
Yes.
And when you stick with a neutral palette, it is so beautiful to play with those textures. So we've got stripes, and often you think, I can't really do stripes and pattern. I'm proving you wrong.
Okay, so kind of like a clashing of patterns, but not. They complement
100%.
if anything.
You see that on our bedscapes that we do as well, with our different textures of, you know, the fur and the woven blankets that we have. This is exactly the same. Be the stylist. Think about all of these things. We've got this kind of texture. We've got the woven placemat in the corn
I
husk,
like that.
which is so, so stunning. It's also a sustainable range. And then, of course, okay,
the glassware.
The glassware. Instead of just your plain glassware, Woolies is doing something beautiful. How retro.
I absolutely love it. And
is
it
so
complements the
stunning.
mats as well so well.
Exactly. So when you're thinking of just your base, think about this as just the tablecloth, and then I added, you know, the dinnerware, and then you added the napkins, and then you add in your pops of color, which can be removed.
Yeah.
And is your added extras like your food, because then your food immediately pops in a scene like this.
And it kind of becomes the hero, which I definitely want to talk about, the centerpiece.
Yes.
It is edible, something I've never seen before. What's interesting is that I've never really done a tablescape for Easter. So I'm getting so many
Okay.
great inspirational points
Are
right
you hosting
now.
this year?
I'm not hosting, but it will be at my mom's house. So I
Okay.
feel like I can definitely bring some ideas to the table.
Maybe you can do the centerpiece.
Okay, Meg, tell me about
So
the
I'll show you a couple of pieces, because, I mean, I would do a centerpiece exactly like this. So on a cake stand, or again, if you don't have a cake stand, just flip a side plate or a bowl, you know, this way, and then put a bigger platter on top of it. easily. That's
Just
your
for some
cake stand.
height, right?
Just for some height, because again, height, we like to play with that when we're creating a tablescape. So something like this, easy, edible, so, so beautiful. And again, it gets people interacting while you're busy.
Family style, I like it.
Family style, exactly. This one, oh my goodness, okay? We've played with wreaths, especially for Christmas. It's very, very Christmas, but this is an occasion. It is a holiday. So just like this, I've used real plants.
Oh,
You can
these
use
are real?
Real.
Wow.
They are. You can play with your faux because often, you know, I talk about the investment of the faux in the Woolies range. So this is a great way to play with that. But here, I mean, I would even go into the food department and get your curry leaves. I mean, imagine your
Wow.
curry leaves.
The
smell
fragrance.
with your pickle fish. So you've
Wow.
got your curry leaves or your bay leaves. You can use it again.
I've never seen a real bay leaf, only the dried
Inside
ones.
Woolies, we can literally do, the real ones are packaged there. So you can literally add it. And the fragrance, again, it goes with the food of the day, which is that lovely, you know, you're creating that scent.
I like
today,
this.
which is stunning. And then, of course, Easter eggs, because for the whole day, you can have chocolate for starters, chocolate in between for mains.
For snacks.
For snacks.
Come
For
on.
dessert, we're doing the whole thing. So that is a perfect way just to add a little bit of something and personality to your table. And then when we talk about personality.
Please, I was waiting for you to come to this,
How
because
stunning.
what is going on
How
here? It's so
And it is
cute.
so cute to do. I mean, I'm literally going to try and show you.
All right, let's try.
Up like this. So you've got your normal napkin like this, and you're going to go in half.
Okay, let's triangle it.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, then you're going to take this corner and you're going to wrap it down. And just keep wrapping it down, down, down.
I got it.
Down. Yes. Then you take one of your eggs.
Oh, why did we both go for the pink? So cute.
In the middle of it. And you got your little bunny.
Wait, let me not get too excited yet. Ah. Yeah. Kind of.
Your little bunny. I mean, you can literally just tie it up here. We've got a little piece of string, a bit of rattan, something that goes with the texture of the table, which is lovely. It's just an added extra. Even write someone's name, it's immediately your place setting. It's a styling element that you've done.
And you haven't even done that much, which is the best part about it.
The best part about styling.
All right, when it comes to giving maybe the final tips for our Easter tablescape, or even the day, the experience in and of itself, what would you say?
I would really say set for the day, just like I speak about on Christmas and especially occasions. You don't want to be up and down between courses, and it really is a time that we're going to sit, we're going to chat throughout the day, speak about the importance of the day. And what is so lovely is sitting down and you've got, you know, your side plates ready for your hot cross buns, because we don't want our hot cross buns to be inside, you know, the pickled fish mixtures that it gets soggy. You know, we have it in a certain process.
There's an order here.
So we've got the bowl already on the table for your pickled fish and all that delicious sauce. It's ready for you. It's done. And then this actually, your main plate actually acts as your charger for the day.
I love it.
So it's immediately just another layered setting just on top, so that as soon as we clear this, maybe for dessert,
you already have
it's sorted for you. It's beautiful. And then maybe layer with this for dessert.
This being?
Put your dessert inside here.
Sorry.
Put a little bit of, you know, your top it with your Easter egg, something. Use all of your elements.
Very cute. I might fill it with something else, but I think that's really
you can totally do that.
I'm here for it. Oh my goodness, I love the way everything just comes together so well. Meg, the genius, thank you once again for being here. I think it's safe to say that lunch is officially served. Now bring your friends and family together this Easter and shop these items and more at Woolworths. You could do that at Woolworths Home, in-store, online, and on the app. And you always know that we've got something for you, Feel Good Fam. Until the 21st of April, you get 20% off selected homeware items. And that is at Woolworths, in-store, online, and on the app. T's and C's, of course, apply and can be found on the website woolworths.co.za.
It's too early for one of these. Cheers.
Clink.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, opening up on S3 and delivering such incredible and inspirational conversations. So from conversation to entertainment, we're going to do the things right now and celebrate Lebo because she's here to bring us something special from her Kept by Grace album. And ahead of a tour, this is Ngleba. The stage is yours. Take us away. Thank you.
Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Yona isiphethe. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Yona isiphethe. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Yona isiphethe. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Yona isiphethe. Murena urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Mohabi. Murena urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Murena urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Murena urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Murena urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele ka Murena urithwele ka Mohabi. Urithwele basana basana duru ria 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 ria. Go by the way. Hi. Masutu mateka. Makosa kai kamo. Leva. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Leva. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Inkosi isiphethe ngendleba. Ria. Inkosi
and we will get one more performance. Don't you worry. Just so we can celebo and Ryle's face one more time. But right now, and I'm so glad we had that beautiful performance, maybe to take the edge off a conversation that I think a lot of people would resist. We are going to talk about divorce right now. We're going to talk about co-parenting because we absolutely have to. And this one is very much for the parents. It's the beginning of a new and often very complex chapter on parenting, and there's no kind of rule book or guide to help us through it, from judging schedules and juggling to get that right, to protecting our children's emotional well-being. The path forward can be anything but smooth and very confusing. Now, with South Africa's divorce rate climbing above 55%, it's a reality many families are navigating. More than half of the adults out there are grappling with this right now. So joining us today is family therapist and divorced mediator Daniela Mayer, who brings both personal insight and professional expertise, plus a groundbreaking solution called Sync In, which I cannot wait to hear more about, an app built to make co-parenting simpler and less stressful. And that's not all. She's brought along her co-parent and former partner, Brad, to share his first-hand experience as well, because, and you can come after me, but I often feel we don't hear the men in this conversation, and we need that voice to be represented. We need both voices to be represented and a balance. So Brad, thanks for being here, dude. I really appreciate your you adding to this, and
very glad to be here.
You guys walked a path. Wow, and there is an emotional investment here that I can feel that doesn't feel like a normal co-parenting model. So tell us your story a little bit. Just set the tone for us with your incredible journey.
So I think that with my experience as a family therapist and a divorce mediator, I have heard it all. And I think I was married and I have a beautiful son who's 12 years old now. And I think that when I went through a divorce from my ex-husband, it kind of positioned me in a situation where I realized that this is the kind of therapy I want to do and this is the kind of solutions I want to be involved in, because I could see where the children struggle. I'm very, very, very much children focused. And then putting that aside, Brad and I also have a little daughter, and we never got married, but we also had a different type of co-parenting situation where we were dealing with our little girl together because we never lived together. So from a marriage and a divorce, from another baby where we were never really like this integrated family living together, we've kind of been able to navigate all different options about what could be possible and also how to make it all work again for the children.
For the children. Brad, is that it? Is that your baseline, for the children?
Absolutely, absolutely. Unfortunately, too many people get caught up in their own stories, their own inevitable conflicts with their ex-spouse, and very, very often the children get pushed to the wayside or maybe just not fully considered in all of those decisions made with each other.
And you know the fallout there. When we talk about this toxicity, what does that look like and how can that impact the children? Just to be clear to those parents who are caught in that cycle right now.
You see, the biggest thing and my biggest point of departure from the minute people walk into my office is that you need to grieve the relationship. You know, you need to grieve the fact that your relationship is broken down. You need to try and understand what that did to each of you so that you can heal, so that you can give the children the best opportunity.
And they can see this
They
play
can
out.
see this. The biggest problem that we face is because that section is not healed, the ego comes out and says, you know what, I'm going to be the winner at all costs. And people don't realize, because everybody has this, I think, natural instinct that what they're doing for their children is right, that they often can't see the wood for the trees. And something as simple as muttering under your breath when your co-parent leaves the room, to fighting over a schedule, fighting over who needs to buy the football boots, whatever the story is. All of these things have such a dramatic impact on our children, and that toxicity that they live in not only causes mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, not knowing your place in the world, not knowing which parent you're supposed to side with. I mean, imagine being
forced into a position to try to decide something like that is impossible. A child has to sit there and say, like, I mean, I also consult with children of divorce, and the thing is that so often they feel so incredibly lonely in it because their parents who they identify with, half mom, half dad, are fighting, and they're like, I don't want to tell my mom
that she's right about something, because what is my dad
Because it's going to be used as fuel in this other political
and
fight.
children are used as pawns way too
Completely,
often.
and so both parents are fighting for the dominant connection, and in so doing destroying what little connection they have in that. Grieving, that word is something that I can't move past as a father, whether you're grieving your relationship or you're grieving a loss here. What was the most difficult part of this process, especially in the beginning for you, Brad?
It was without a doubt, most definitely coming to the realization of the fact that I will never live with my children again, full time. You know, and especially very often the father specifically has like a Wednesday night and every second weekend.
Yeah, it's a schedule.
And it's a schedule. And that's the way it needs to be, not necessarily that schedule, but it needs to all be scheduled. But most of the time, what I find is that the father ends up moving out of the family home and then moves into maybe a smaller place and then has visitation rights. And that's, without a question, is the biggest, for me, was the biggest grieving process. Coming to that realization that no more family dinners, you know, you actually, together with that, you have to now become both parents when they're with you.
Yeah.
You have to become operational in everything. You know, maybe you weren't a cook before. Maybe you didn't know how to make toast.
He says with a wry smile,
exactly. Maybe you didn't even know where your daughter went to ballet, you know, during the week because you're off at work or whatever. Now all of a sudden you need to become, you know, operational in both, and at the same time you're trying to grieve this and you're trying to get used to the fact that you no longer actually live with your children, and there's a lot to deal with.
All of this says to me, go easy. Go easy on each other. Go easy on yourself. I can imagine there was a huge amount of self-judgment through this, a sense of failure because you can't even get your own relationship right. How can you kind of make your mark in the world around you? You are not alone. 55% of marriages in South Africa end in divorce. That says we need a plan and we need to work together. I know Brad gave us a couple of kind of jumping off points there and a few poignant moments to process. So we're going to take a moment to process. We're going to get Daniela's advice now on how to be practical, even right down to using an app. Yes, we can get that practical. And if you're a co-parent at the moment, please weigh in on our socials. We'll see you now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we rejoin a vitally important conversation. I'm understanding we are talking about co-parenting after divorce, or co-parenting if your situation is unconventional. And thank you so much for you guys for weighing in.
Yeah, we asked the question this morning to kickstart the show all around co-parenting, maybe a do and a don't that you've had from your experience. And thank you so much for weighing in and being honest and vulnerable in a space like this. This was the question. Being a child of divorce is never easy. That's why it's important for parents to offer consistency to their kids through co-parenting. So what would be your do's and don'ts? What would they be? And then you got in touch with a couple of messages. So thank you so much to Sir Avile Hloakwa, who said, co-parenting don'ts, never ever badmouth your ex-partner to your child. That's a very good one.
Yeah, very much so. Perfect don't coming through there. Let's get another one from you guys. And this one weighing in from Mabel. Mabel saying, good morning, Expresso family. Yes, it's not easy, but don't guilt trip the child. Instead, offer emotional support and try to be polite in the presence of the child toward each other.
Oh, and you know, I can be petty, but it's important to just keep it clean. Okay, another one from Candice de Beer saying, for me, it's keeping your word. Oh, that's a nice one. Whether it's when your turn to have the kids, to maintaining the child or birthdays, etc., keep to the agreement and have open conversations. People's situations are constantly changing, so you've got to communicate.
And then Gary, thank you, Gary, our OG. Never use your children as bargaining chips and be a man who pays maintenance.
Yes, Gary.
This says structure, consistency are key in the plan. You have got an app that is informed, obviously, by your lifetime of information and experience. Talk us through how it works.
Okay. So firstly, before I get to that, I just want to say that children only need a limited amount of things to thrive. The one is consistency, the one is routine, and the other one is unconditional support. It doesn't matter what your family system looks like. It doesn't matter if it's unconventional, divorced, insane, crazy, perfect, whatever.
That's your baseline.
That's your baseline. Even children of married relationships where the family's happy, if they don't have those three things, there's a problem. So for parents who are going through this, co-parents, the guilt is a real thing. I feel it myself. But if you can offer them those three things, consistency, routine, and support, they will be okay. So don't be too hard on yourselves, is my first message.
I love that. Thank you.
The second thing I want to say is about sync in, is that over the last 15 years of personal and professional experience, I have noticed some very serious holes in the entire system. And conflict in co-parenting always seems to boil down to the same few things. One of them is the schedule. Who gets the children when? Who's supposed to be picking up the children from where? You know? And then the communication around that. Oh, shoot, I've got to be here this morning. Please, co-parent, please, can you come and look after the child?
Because life happens.
Life happens, and it's okay for life to happen. And I think the conversation around doing favors for your co-parent becomes an area of conflict. And then the third one, a big one, which we're not going to get too deep into right now, is obviously maintenance.
Sure.
So I have got all my clients on their own individual WhatsApp groups. So I say, you know what, if you can't talk nicely to each other, you need to be in touch so that you know what's going on with your kids. Here's a WhatsApp group, I'm watching you. And let's see how that changes the conversation.
Wow.
And every single time, we've gone over years of me being the mediator or the parenting coordinator or just the family support therapist, where they've gone from not being able to talk at all to each other to at least being able to speak with a little bit of kindness to becoming friends. And what is the reason for that is, again, self-preservation. They realize if somebody's watching me, I better be on my best behavior.
That's okay.
That is okay.
That's okay, yeah.
That's okay, because what we are doing, which is so important and where sync in comes in, is changing the narrative and creating new habits.
Sure.
So what sync in does is it takes all of these areas that cause toxicity and conflict in co-parenting and turns it on its head. We've got what I've launched now already is the scheduler part of the app, where we can set our parenting schedule that is set out as per our court order, our parenting plan, any discussions. We have got the ability to swap custody days, we've got the ability to set up events, set up drop-off and pick-up
And it doesn't come with the emotional baggage of having to have that engagement.
Exactly. And the beauty about it is that if I go onto my schedule and I say that I am setting up an event, my son's got soccer on Thursday, can you pick him up? And my co-parent says, approve. There's accountability, and that is what a big problem is that nobody wants to have that accountability.
Right.
So no more.
It says to me that you don't have the weight or the baggage of the whole marriage and divorce coming to bear with every single little decision that you're making. It's picking someone up from school. Can we put it in its place?
Let's just, exactly. It's a yes or no button, no emotion around it. Can you do it? And my biggest problem that I have with my clients is, oh, she never told me. I'm like, okay, now everything is always he said, she said.
Right.
Here we've got a way. Everything gets logged. Exactly. Yeah. Everything gets logged. Everything is uplifted for court if necessary. And nobody can shirk their responsibility or the lack of accountability anymore, you know?
As a working model, how have you found having this kind of space to operate in?
So I was divorced just over 10 years ago. I've got 2 older kids, 19 and 16.
Wow.
And obviously we never had anything like that, any app or anything. And it really is potentially a source of conflict. Because again, you know, a WhatsApp group gets formed for the soccer lifts. Inevitably, you know, it used to be just one of the parents. And when you're together, only one really needs to be on that. All of a sudden, we need to add each other to these groups so we know what's going on. And then it doesn't happen, and then there's conflicts. You never told me about the soccer match. Well, you should be on the group. Well, I'm not on the... All of this, for me, if I would have had...
The whole time,
If I would have had an app like this when I got divorced the first time, I can't even imagine how many conflicts could have been avoided.
Resolved, exactly.
And also having the record, again, that he said, she said, you know, having the instead of taking screenshots of WhatsApps and then somebody deleted one of the WhatsApps, you know, this is a record. It's accountability to each other.
To your children.
To your children, most importantly. Can I just say this? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying this to myself and Carissa and the rest of the grown-ups in this room. This is what 2 grown-up people look like, okay?
Real
That's
adulting.
it. Just real grown-up, normal human beings having an unemotional conversation about something so practical, which is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sinkin.co.za is where we're going to find a host of these beautiful gateways to mitigate the fallout. But to both of you, well done, man.
Thank you.
Co-parent on!
Yes, to
absolute
co-parenting.
legend.
And also just to note that it can be done. I think many people might feel a little bit, you know, disillusioned, but here's the space, here's the help. Sinkin.co.za is exactly where you can find that resource and make sure that you get on it ASAP to make sure the rest of your path looks a little bit more clearer going forward.
Catch Color Your Plate with Koo this Tuesday evening at 7:30.
It's a new challenge. It's a new day.
Go get him, champ. Go get him.
I'm in a panic.
I can't do 2 things at once.
D for disaster.
It's in God's hands. What's happening? I want everything perfect.
Absolutely not.
Ooh, spicy. Oh my.
Wow. Oh, I'm loving this challenge. Good luck.
That's Color Your Plate with Koo this Tuesday evening at 7:30. Repeat Wednesday at 1 and Sunday at 4 p.m. only on SABC2.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we'll give you some more Feel Good because right now it's time to win some money by hashtag Panda Pusha Play Powerball, and then there's also Powerball Plus for 24 million rand, and that's in total estimated jackpots this Tuesday, and you could just be the next multi-millionaire.
So if you play your Powerball, there's 9 million, okay, and if you play your Powerball Plus, an estimated 15 million rand. So go and get your tickets now. Do it in-store, go online, nationallottery.co.za. You can use the mobile app, you can use cell phone banking, you can simply dial *120 *7529 hash, and we'll send, or they will send, the USSD.
I love that. Now, we posted every single one of those details on our Expresso social media pages. Go and check them out at Expresso Show and Panda Pusha Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 24 million rand in total estimated jackpots today. And you could just win big. That realm of possibility just feels nice.
Oh, I love it. So let's have a soundtrack to match. Please, Ryle, can you accommodate?
Yes, we've got you covered, don't you, Rory? Because Easter's around the corner and God sent down one of his angels to serve us in the form of Lebo. And she's here to do exactly that, to celebrate Easter around the corner and with an incredible song. It's entitled Nakalang, and it's something that we are about to celebrate. The stage is yours.
Thank you.
Luna basinyehile oh Jesu rata arishwela sefapano oh le fati lote luna basinyehile Luna basinyehile Jesu rata kahohle bantu banahle Jesu urata kahohle bantu banahle bona bafetuhe Bonaba sukuluhe oba fetuhe Bonaba sukuluhe oh young liring
Another feel-good production.